Okay. Let's do this, cuz. Wait on that. Do I have these in? I feel like I'm good though. Jesus, fuck me. Where'd all this goddamn water come from?
Interesting one, yeah.
So were you around a lot of Bulgarians growing up, or no?
Yeah, a little bit, because my dad's side. God damn it! Burrow! Stop!
Yo, what's up, Symply?
You heard me?
What's up?
Out first. I'm getting there soon.
Alright, sounds good. I'll see you when you get here, my man.
Right.
Peace out. Yo, what's going on, man? Good to see you.
Same thing. Made it here.
Don't worry about it. How was it? Getting over here,
It was
okay?
alright. I was dealing with my insurance people, so that probably made me not focus nearly as much as I should have.
Yeah.
Extra like adding people to my policy. I'm like, don't fucking add random people to my policy. Like, yo, I don't like them.
It's crazy you had to say that to them.
Well, it's never.
This is all my like swim stuff for kids. And yeah.
Hey, what is this? A swim swim?
This is a pool buoy. So you put this in between your legs,
Uh-huh.
and it keeps your legs up, and then you just swim with your hands.
To teach people how to swim.
Yeah.
Got you.
And then that is your bag.
You done with it?
Yeah, I'm all set. I'll probably need it again for Friday.
Yeah.
But for Tuesday and Thursday, I figured you would want that.
Sweet.
So that's all yours, and then we'll be recording in here.
On it.
Bedroom studio, a little.
It's peaceful.
But it's still nice.
Yes, no, it's peaceful. This is what it's supposed to be.
And then, do you need any water?
I think you have some, right?
I have some right in there.
Oh,
Do you want a Red Bull, caffeine? Do you need anything like that?
what do you have caffeine-wise?
I have Red Bull. I have caffeine pills. If
No,
you
I'm
want
good.
caffeine pills.
I don't think those are about soda stuff.
Soda? What soda?
I don't think you do soda though. You do bubbly stuff, huh?
I do bubbly stuff. I have Coca-Cola, though, cherry. If you want one of those.
No, I'll do orange.
There you go.
I'll do orange. You can never go wrong with a cherry Coke.
No,
All right,
they're delicious.
let's do it, man.
Word.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, dude, I was pumped for you coming today.
This is like what, 3 years ago?
This is 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
October. This October will be 2 years.
How cool is that?
I think it's pretty fucking awesome. And then I'm gonna turn off all the lights in here so that it doesn't affect over there. Boom.
Ringers down.
Didn't check the camera anymore. Everything else is done though. So.
Okay. Is the eye.
What's this like compared to like a real
radio stuff. Shit.
It's not that different.
Not that different.
Okay. So bigger difference. I always say that, then I forget to like give real differences.
Mhm.
Real differences are obviously the setup or whatever, where
Yeah.
you're going. It's like a station. It doesn't feel like, for me, anyways. And this
Yeah.
is still a new thing for me, but I'm not nearly as comfortable at a radio station, even though it's my own radio station, as I am at a podcast. Usually, most
Right.
podcasts are taking place at people's homes
Sure.
or something that's like super chill and
Yeah.
relaxed.
Yeah.
Second thing, I can cuss. Okay, I can
Right.
fucking swear.
Yeah, you can do
And I don't
whatever
have
you
to
want.
be like, I don't have to be guarded with what I'm talking about.
No.
Because for me, the podcaster, the person that's my host, is bringing me in to answer that specific question or to give my real input. Whereas, I'm representing myself.
Sure.
Whereas
yeah,
at the
yeah,
radio
yeah.
station, I'm representing them, their sponsors, their affiliates.
Got it.
And I
Yeah,
also
yeah,
have
yeah.
the FCC where I can't swear. And so that's the biggest difference. I do think that I feel like I have to be more entertaining on the radio
Sure.
than I do in podcasts. I
Yeah.
feel like the podcast,
Yeah.
I can be boring and talk.
Yes.
I just discovered that a few months ago on the radio,
Yeah.
that I'm there to be funny. And I was like, well, because I'm a comic, and my head
Yeah.
was always just answer the question and talk about stuff. And it's like, no. They also have you as a comedian. Be
right.
funny. Now, don't ham it up and make it like where it's unnatural, but be funny. And
Right.
so I just turned the corner on that. I feel like, maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, to where I was like, oh, no. I can be funny too.
How long have you been doing radio?
A little bit over
there?
a year. A little bit over a year.
Over a year.
Consistently,
And
a
so
little
do you
bit
have
over
your
a year
own
every
show
Wednesday.
there?
I'm a part of a show. So we
Okay.
have the thing called The Morning Grind. It's a morning show that's pretty much, it's lifestyle. It's a little bit of talk soup, and it's also informative as well. So if there's something that's currently happening, whether it's local, because we are local to Austin.
Yep.
So we talk weather. We also talk traffic and all that, because we're on during the traffic hour for people. But we also talk just, three guys just hanging out talking.
Yeah.
And then we do interviews as well.
Yeah, that's so fucking cool. I feel like the main thing is, too, with radio is somebody's paying for you to be there.
They're not paying me to be there because I'm a volunteer. but there are, like, for the volunteer, the interviews as well as some of the other things are sponsored. And so there are actual dollars there.
Gotcha.
And the ads are ad generated. And so in all honesty, I am being paid to be there, but I'm not being paid through money. I'm being paid more either through exposure or access. But it's cool. I think that I feel, and this is obviously we're comics, and so this is different, but you should be able to do something that your motivation is more than money. Like, I feel like everybody needs something in their life that they're doing this for the love of the game, even if you're just starting something out and you're not making a lot of money, which I still think not making a lot of money versus knowing you're not going to make money from this at all, at least directly from this, are two totally different things. And so for me, all of us are volunteer. I know our station director does get paid, and then maybe one other person gets paid there, but everybody else that's on the air is directly working as a volunteer, But
Holy cow.
your voice is being pumped through so many different places in Austin. And I grew up listening to 88.7. So because of that, it's an honor and a privilege for me to be there.
Yeah.
And people recognize my voice. Like, I've had people go, oh my God, I love listening to you talk on Wednesdays. My mom gets compliments all the time that we love listening to your boy talk on the radio station on Wednesdays. So it's a real thing. And it's something that I took for granted. Not in the standpoint I didn't think it was important. I've always thought it was important. But it was something that I didn't think that many people were, like, connecting to it. Like,
sure.
I was like, what? Man, a bunch of people ain't hearing this. No, a bunch of people are hearing this. They're hearing you, and you're making a difference, but you're being visible. And I think the bigger thing is, first you have to be visible before you can make a difference.
Right.
And so many people just try to immediately jump out the gate.
Yeah.
And they don't even know what they stand for. People can't tell what the hell they stand for. It's like, dude, just be yourself. Be yourself. And you'll either be put to the places you're supposed to be, or you'll be put away from them. And there's a thing where people always look at rejection. I say, no, it's redirection. And so life is constant about being redirected. When I first did the radio, I wasn't interested into it. I wasn't interested in doing it multiple times. I was interested in doing the interview. I got a show, come talk, be funny for a moment. But to go weekly and be there, especially because it's mornings, that wasn't what I was interested in. And now here I am, over a year in, and we just moved stations. We're now over in the Highland area, the Highland District area, and our station is upgraded. Our signal strength, I think, is boosted even more. Our footprint has grown, and here I am moving with the station. Like, I look at it on Instagram. I'm like, holy crap, dude, this is the thing that it wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing last time you talked, because I want to talk about it real quick. 2 years ago, my goals, my aspirations, and my dreams for the most part were about the same. But there are things that I do differently now. And there's some things I still do the same. I think at this point, I hadn't recorded my first album 2 years ago. I think were we doing In the Round together, or
we were doing In the Round? We had just done it. We only did 2.
Right, we
just started.
Yeah, so that was a brand new thing. We should stop doing that, but we did it and got that thing, I think, going fairly current. You know? We were still doing the comics, and was it the Queens and Comics and Queens, something like that?
Yeah,
it was outside, right? Yeah, so we were still outside.
Yep.
We moved that thing to inside, which that was a success because we moved it into Moon Tower. And the only reason why we stopped doing it is because I couldn't be there anymore, and it just became somewhat of a hassle.
Well, then I wasn't in Austin
either.
either.
You were gone.
I was gone.
Yeah. But yeah, 2 years. So, man, I started talking, and I was like, let you do your thing, and then. You have questions, or do you have an intro to this? How does this work?
So I mean, we've been recording, but I
figured that.
There's no rules here, so.
Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 180 with the returning guest of Symply, Courtney, host of the one and only Along for the Vibes every fucking Friday. Apparently, he's on a radio show every Wednesday.
The morning grind every Wednesday morning, 7 o'clock until 10. 88.7 KAZI FM, baby.
Hosts of 2 open mics, both at Tiniest Bar in Texas.
Yes,
am I leaving anything out, Courtney?
You always can, but I mean, the fun thing is I will do it as well if you don't. Let's see, Late Night Laughs on Fridays,
that's right.
The fourth Friday of every month. The monthly comedy night, we're going to call it Simply Haha Comedy at Envision Dance Studio in Elgin every second Saturday of the month. And then I think that might be it at this point. Because last time we talked, it was like 7 things.
That's still a long list, by the way.
I still had a list. It's not as many. It's not as many. It's like, because then we're still doing like the private shows. Matter of fact, I'm in San Antonio Friday doing a private show for an apartment complex. And then I'll have one coming back up here in Austin soon. But yeah, I'm still doing that stuff for Simply Haha as well.
Perfect.
Yeah.
No, it's so funny. The last time that we talked, I don't know. Do you remember the last time we talked about what we talked about and sort of those types of things?
Vaguely, I do know. I was talking about. I think I talked about your key. I want to say I talked about being motivated to still do comedy, and then my daughter was here, and so it was interesting because I was looking at stuff from a time specific standpoint. I feel like when I have my daughter in front of me, that's that lets me know where time is.
Yep.
Like if my daughter and my son aren't around, man, I could have been doing this for a year. I don't know. It's like, nah, dude, you've been doing this for, I think at that point it was 11 years.
Yep.
Now it's about to be 13 in November. And my daughter's 16, my son's 14.
Yeah.
And so that lets me know how long I've been doing comedy, It's wild. And I always sometimes have to pinch myself. I have to pinch myself and go, did you make the right choice? And I was like, dude, you are, first of all, you're better than where you were. Second of all, if the conversation comes up is, are you using your degree? Are you putting the skills that you learned when you went to college into use? Excuse me. The answer is yes. I produce, I plan out, I solicit, I put together, I execute, I support, I create. All of those things are from my degree. Now, am I making all of the money that I was making when I worked a regular traditional job? I don't think so. There are sometimes I can. It's boom or bust. But I feel like, man, I feel way more accomplished when it comes to creating, when I see other people get value from that. Along for the Vibes, that's music, and that is, I was just talking, I think, to my friend Sherry Vasagi, and that is 6 people, I think, if I have the number right. That's 6 people that benefit from that thing existing. Joey Cass, Mars Saturn, Josh McCauley, Chris Puskar, Charlie Chin. I'm going to try to make sure I get their name right. Charlie Chin. How was that? That's the name of 5. There's 6 so far?
Yep. Yeah, that's
Symply
6.
Courtney. I'm talking about myself.
Yep.
Now we're at 7. Tyler Nass,
Yep.
Sari Vasegi.
That's 9.
That's 9 people. There
Yeah.
are 9 people. I watched benefit from that show
Yeah.
in its existence.
Yes.
So that in my mind, I'm like, bro, that didn't exist 2 years ago.
No.
2 years ago, that didn't exist.
No.
Did you want to do music on stage? Yeah. I remember I was trying to, do my beatbox thing with my RC505 and stuff.
Yep.
I remember I was thinking that's the way I'm going to do it. Because I knew I was going to be on stage for something with music. I always knew that this comedy thing and this music thing were somehow going to melt together, and I was going to be on stage with it. Now, I never knew if I was going to be on stage by myself or if I was going to be on stage with other people. And our list, our name, our number, when we talk about Along for the Vibes, it grows. It's always growing. We're still trying to find Chin always wants to bring in more people. Another guitarist, a person that does the drums.
Yep.
I'm looking at vocalists.
Yep.
I want all of these different things for this show. And my dream scenario is that all of us get to grow together. We all get to grow independently. You still get to do the things you do. I get to do the things I do. Josh and Mars get to do the things they want to do. Joey does the things he wants to do. Sherry does the things he wants to do. Chin does the things he wants to do. Tyler does the things he wants to do. And yet we still get to come back together as this conglomeration of amazing, I'm calling it this fantastic system.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the word is.
Yeah,
because
sure.
It doesn't exist.
I'm rolling with it.
What we're making is something that doesn't exist. And I love that because when I look back 2 years ago, if I could have talked to Courtney 2 years ago and said every week, so okay, let's get the real number. So weekly things that I now have under my belt that I do weekly. Tiniest bar in Texas is two. That's 2.
2.
I missed one. The
2.
comedy showcase at the Tiniest bar in Texas every Saturday.
Yep.
That's the show I missed.
Oh,
See?
yeah.
See? I told
That's
you I
right.
missed
Because you have 3 things at
Yes,
Tiniest. I
yes.
keep forgetting that.
And 2 years ago, that didn't exist.
Nope.
And if you would have asked me, hey, you're going to do a showcase every Saturday at Tiniest Bar in Texas. No. I don't even want to be there I only want to be there once a week.
Yeah.
You're going to be there 3 times a week. Well, you don't have to be there 3 times a week, but Simply Haha is there 3 times a week. Well, how's that going to work? You're going to build a team of people that want to produce stuff there, and they're going to be the ones doing it. Yeah, you'll still help with the lineups. You'll still, coordinate little things here and there, but you're not going to have to physically be there.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm okay with that. Am I going to trust them? Yeah, you're going to have to learn how to trust them. But what if something goes wrong? Then something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Well, what do I do then? You'll respond in kind. Oh, okay. Well, when you put it like that, it's not as difficult. Exactly. That's me talking to 2 years ago me. Yeah. I'm enjoying this because I know for a fact that if I would have told me 2 years ago that this is where I would be now, I'd be impressed. And I really do. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'd be impressed by what I'm doing now with the group of us at that.
I think that, by the way, you went on a little bit of tangent there.
I did.
Loved it.
I love it.
But just going back to where it was 2 years ago, I remember a little bit of what we talked about. I listened to it. We talked a lot about you working through the pandemic. That was a big thing that we talked about how you would try to do like the open mic, the car shows in online, which I thought was hilarious at the time. I still think it is.
Yeah.
You talked about, really doing stand-up comedy, working through having 2 kids, working through a divorce and how that sort of affected you and how you kind of just kept going forward. Even 2 years ago, you were saying that you were sort of having a little bit of doubts of where you were at.
Oh, yeah.
Yet it didn't really affect you that much because in comparison to what your doubts were before then,
right,
were way worse.
Right.
And you felt like you kept getting less and less doubts as you got further into this.
Yeah.
I also talked to you about not trusting somebody and how letting somebody go and what's the correct time of doing that. I was literally talking about Dominic.
You were talking about life.
I was talking about life.
And I didn't even know it then.
And then literally a month later, it all came out.
House of Cards.
And then I never thought that if something like that would to happen, what I was trying to like talk to you about, because I was legitimately scared talking to you on the podcast about that, not scared talking to you.
No, you're talking about life.
And you were like, dude, you got to like kind of let it go. And I was like, I don't think that I can do that. And you're like, but you can.
Yep.
And then that ended up happening.
Yeah.
And here we are a year and a half later.
You're fine.
I got a show I'm running with you. The podcast is back. It's stronger, better than ever, in my opinion. The product is way better.
Yep.
I think I'm far better of an interviewer.
Yeah.
I think I'm better conversationalist as a comedian. You've seen that.
Absolutely.
I'm way better of a comedian than I was a year and a half ago.
Yes. Agreed.
I think it's funny. It is. You do get to this point where you're like, oh my God, my best show. I'm a year in. That was like great and fantastic. You look back at that show a year and you go, that was terrible in comparison to what I do on the weekly now. And so it's just funny.
Time.
Like, just funny. I'm glad that we came back. We waited this long to do this.
That's never doubt it. And that's something I love, is that sometimes you think you got to do something now. I have to live that on the regular. You think, first of all, to touch on what you said, you think something is you're not gonna be able to get past it. And then you find that you can. You find that you did. Fuck that you can. You find that you did.
Yeah.
You look back on it in hindsight, you're like, damn, I remember when that thing was the worst thing in the world. And you think about the worst things, the worst things that have happened.
Yeah.
Or you think about things that have happened. Maybe they're not worse. Maybe this is that. We look back and go, well, at least it isn't, and this is that thing that you're thinking about. But either way, you're looking back on it instead of still in it.
Right.
They always say the word. What's that damn Homer Simpson quote? Worst day of your life so far. You know.
Yeah.
It feels like that sometimes. so prophetic. But all I can say is, first of all, wow, look at you and appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because I can see it. If nobody else can tell you, I can see it. You're better off. It felt like probably it was the end of the world, and guess what? It probably was. It was the end of that world.
Yeah, it was.
Sometimes your world ends, but it's that specific world. Keep in mind, we'll say galaxy, there are planets, and we'll call planets and worlds, we'll use them as synonyms, right? When a world ends, unless that's the last world in that galaxy, guess what? The galaxy keeps on going.
Right.
The galaxy keeps on going on, and you think, oh my God, my world ended. Yeah. You're a galaxy. Your world ended. That might have been a moon. That could have been a satellite. That could have been on Pluto. That's not a damn Jupiter. That's not a freaking Mars. Or I guess we say Jupiter. It's not a Saturn. That's just a small planet. And guess what? You still got the sun. You still got a whole bunch of other things. You got things that are being born. A lot of times when these planets end, they all of a sudden give way to a new planet. So in your case, I think this world ended so the new one could be born. And look where you're at now.
Yeah.
And 2 years from now, who knows? You'll be somewhere else and you'll be like, damn, I thought that was as good as it got. And it got better and better and better. I might be getting interviewed by you from your mansion.
Right.
Your condo. Who knows?
Yeah.
You never know.
Literally though. And, I always say, or I guess I should start saying more, your new life is going to cost you your old one.
It's the truth. It's the truest thing that they say out there. When we talk about cliches, that's the constant cliche that comes up. New life costs you your old. Well, but what can I do both? You can't.
No.
In religion, they say you can't serve two masters. And that goes deeper than just praying to God and praying a bunch of other things. It's like, dude, a lot of times we think we can multitask, and we really can't. We can give our attention in short spurts to different things. We can put effort into certain things. One thing you got to see me probably right before you left, I was all over the place. Yeah. But I was realizing that I couldn't be in every place. Right. The reason why I couldn't be at Tiniest Bar 2 days a week or 3 days a week, 2 days, 2 times a week. Yeah. Is because I had to always be there. And I didn't have the grouping behind me, nor did I have the balls to say, hey, I need help. Can somebody stand in for me? Yeah. I would do it, but I would be like forcing people to do it instead of building a group of people around me that actually loved doing it or wanted to do it, and also trusting in them. There was a decision made a few months ago to start our Thursday mic, and I'm only bringing this up because Sari, I think, is so dope because he's instrumental in a lot of this stuff, is we're going to start that mic at 7:30 instead of running it at 8 and starting at 8:30, and there were so many people that wanted that to happen. Well, the people that I had that were backing me up and supporting me, they wanted that to happen. So part of my give was, okay, if you're getting, you have to give. If you're getting, you have to give.
Yeah.
And so what I was getting was help. I was getting my time back. I was getting some of my life because now I do a lot more things with my kiddos than ever.
Yeah.
But it also requires me to be on that damn road and be over there, whether it's an after school thing or it's a camp or it's a practice or it's a game or whatever. If I'm getting time and space, what do I have to give? Well, I have to give money. More than that, you got to give something better than money. What do you have to give? Agency. You have to give people agency. You have to give them autonomy over themselves, but also over the things you're having them do for you. Well, what does that look like? I don't know. Wait until they ask you, and then when they ask you, you'll know. Hey, Courtney, can we start doing this thing at 7:30? Well, I mean, we'll do it if you don't. Nah, you know what? Let's do it. Hey, Courtney, can we blah blah blah? Well, yeah, sure. Hey, can we get a QR code that allows us, when people register for your open mic, they can also support and upvote these things, these other events we have going on? Well, yeah, sure. Hey, Courtney, what about Saturdays? Saturdays is open. Can we do a showcase there? You don't even have to be there. We just need the space, and we just need you to kind of, maybe make the flyer, do some things, or help us book stuff. Sure. Can we use your equipment? Yes. Can we use yes. Microphone? Yes. Hey guys, I'm finna be going for a week because I'm going to North Dakota and South Dakota. Can't hold me down. We got you, dude.
Yeah.
That's what I got because I was given. That's what I got because I was giving. And the hardest thing in this world is for us to have, they call it deferred, oh God, not appreciation. What is it? Deferred. Oh, I got to find the damn word.
You're good.
It's a great freaking term, and I'm learning it more and more. There it is. Deferred gratification. It's deferred gratification that you sometimes don't get what you're asking for immediately in return. Because sometimes you don't even know how to ask for the things you want, or you don't even know what you want.
Right.
You didn't realize you needed all this damn help. I didn't realize it 2 years ago. Man, I was all things Courtney. I had you. Excuse me. I had you, and I had maybe two other people. I had Tiffany. I had Dizzy as well. Shout out to Dizzy. And that was pretty much it. Other than that, Comics and Queens, all these other shows in the round, all these other things.
Yeah.
Courtney had to somehow physically be there. And I remember our one sellout show. Our one sold out show for In the Round. I wasn't even there. I was in Oklahoma. I got booked to do a show in Oklahoma that weekend. And I'm getting all these videos back. I remember I was talking to the bartender. Shout out to Chelsea and Cheryl. And they sent me like a freaking video, and the damn place was packed. And here I am. And, of course, I get the notifications when people buy tickets and RSVP and stuff. But here I am with a packed room, and I ain't even there. I was astounded.
Yeah.
I was like, well, this is what it looks like when you give. Because all Dizzy wanted was stage time. He just wanted someplace that he could continuously go up. And that's Daniel, by the way. I'll make sure I give him his real credit. Daniel Zelinka. He wanted a place to continually go up and perform and be able to get better. And I told him, I said, well, I got you. You can perform on this every time you want. There are going to be some times where I'm going to need you to host because I ain't going to be able to be there. But there's also going to be some times where I'm going to be there, and I'm still going to be like, I'm not performing. That's how me and Justin O'Donnell do it Late Night Laughs, by the way. He's the producer. I help as well producing, but I used to have him as the host, but he says, I don't always want to host. And I said, I don't even always want to perform. Fuck hosting. I sometimes just want to show up and just hang out in the green room with you guys and maybe take some pictures and giggle a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's what I've given them, and what they're giving me back, or what I'm getting them back in return, is freedom to go perform or to just not have to do something.
Yeah. I mean, you did it so well with me. I don't know about how the other people feel about it, but just speaking for myself, you really let me do that with Along for the Vibes with the stream, where you were just like, figure it out, man. Whatever you need to do, and we'll go at your pace with that.
I love it. I love watching you work because you're so detailed, and you're so like, I love when you get pissed off. I joke all the time. I said, just let him go. He's gonna go. He's gonna go smoke a cigarette, or he's gonna go do something. And he'll come back and he'll figure it out. And I love that because I'll look over at you and you'll be working on something, and then you'll just get up and you'll just go. And I'll be like, oh, he's going to figure it out. He'll be back. And then he comes back. I always joke in my mind. I was like, what if Chris one of these gets pissed off and says, I'm out of here, and just leaves? And I was like, dude, I don't even know how to turn the equipment off. Fuck break it down. I'm like, okay, how do I end a stream? I don't know how to end the stream. Google, stop stream. Like, I don't know how to even do that. So I'm like, God, please don't let Chris get pissed off in the middle of it. Get pissed off at the end. At least I can break the equipment down. But we're going to be like, all right, 24-hour stream, I guess. Bitch, I'm Kai Cenat now, bitch. I'm here. But, alone for the life. Fuck the vibe, bitch.
Yeah,
I'm here.
yeah. Most of the time, it's a YouTube video I need to go watch.
Word.
Yeah.
I love that, though. But I'm happy that you said that because that makes me so happy to do what I do.
Yeah.
Is that you are getting to grow in real time. I mean, dude, you taught me stuff like the light stuff. I always think about Moon Tower and how I have an eye for light stuff now because of you. And I have like the little red and the blue. Like we have the red and blue in here right now. And I'm always like, red and blue. Because I remember the one show that we did where I took light bulbs and I put them up and there was red and blue and those pictures came out fucking bomb. Those are the best. Like, I would still use those pictures if I was still doing a show that looked like Along for the Vibes. Or if I just need to show people what Simply Ha Productions look like. I'm using those pictures every time.
It's hard for people to get set into the mindset that it's something fun if the lighting is the same as it is everywhere else.
Correct.
If you have the same lighting that they would have in their office building that they're working in that day, or if at a McDonald's or at Lowe's or wherever it is, if you have the exact same fluorescent lighting, people go, well, this is like a normal thing.
Right.
And that's not what you do.
No.
What you do is not normal at all, in a good way, right? I'm not insulting you.
No.
But it's like you need to set a tone. An atmosphere needs to be set. I learned this from the podcast.
Yeah.
Is like, if you just, you can do it with regular lighting. You can.
Right.
You can do that. Or you can have it almost set up as a mood, even dimming the lights a little bit.
Yep.
Will you capture every single facial expression on the camera?
No.
No, you're not. Who cares?
Right.
You don't need that. That's not necessary. What you and Joe Rogan does this.
Yep.
I mean, literally, he has apparently, he's never been shown, but he has a whole light show above the studio that's off camera.
Right.
And the guests comment on it. Why? Because he knows that if you want a show where you're going to talk about aliens fucking JFK or whatever Joe Rogan's talking about, you're going to want like a weird thing that kind of sets the mood of the thing that you're recording.
And he trusts people. He has professionals. I know he has professionals around him that handle that lighting stuff. Maybe he knows lighting too, but if he doesn't, which I wouldn't be surprised, he has people around him that they know what looks good on camera.
Yes.
They know what kind of cameras they have. They know where they're going to position them. They know what, maybe the people are going to look like or how he's going to stand or where he's going to lean when he gets tired or whatever. And so you have people like a team, but you trust in your team. You don't have to know the why. You don't even have to know the how. Like, I don't know the how and the why on probably, let's say 70% of what happens from Along for the Vibes now.
Yeah.
2 years ago, me would have probably been scared about that. But here I am, and I'm like, this person has it, this person has that, this person has that. The other day, because our Tuesday open mic, I have to bring this up. I sat behind Chin's computer, and Chin normally has like the sound effects and stuff like that. And I was like, well, let me try to do it because I think Chin was over at the keyboard, if I remember correctly. And so I was sitting in the seat because I was not in the seat. So I was sitting there and I was trying to like do like when people would tell a joke, try to hit the appropriate sound effect.
Yeah.
Do you know how hard that is?
Oh.
It is for me anyways, it was very difficult.
Yeah.
I couldn't find stuff. And then I was like trying not to hit the keys too hard. And then I was like trying to make sure that I didn't step on the person's joke. And I was like, this is really a damn art form to know when to apply the sound effect. First of all, forget knowing where it's at. That's a whole nother thing in itself. I'm looking at damn German. I was like, where did I just saw it. No, they didn't hit the damn button. It's the wrong one or the timing is off. And so I look at that and I talk about how Chin does that, but also plays the damn bass and also can play the keyboard and also has concepts for Joey, you need to play this key. And Joey plays the guitar and does this key and then dances. Then Josh does every goddamn thing that he can do. Mars is right along with him. And then I have you with all of the technology know-how and the lighting and the sound stuff. And then I'm just like, all right, I'm I'm gonna stay out the way. Like that's just me. That's usually me. I'm here to help. If you guys say, Courtney, get me this very specific thing, that's what I'm gonna do. But I know that everybody has their wizardry. And my wizardry is, okay, when it's time to start the show, keeping this thing running, making sure that everybody knows when they're going up, making the damn crowd feel like it's really popping in here. And then also being able to add my little, I call it my 30% of it, whereas me improvising, singing, rapping, dancing, beatboxing, scatting, whatever it is, doing voices, making faces, shaking my ass, whatever it is, and that's what I add. And I love the fact that we all get to add something, and it's becoming a very beautiful thing.
Oh, it's
I can't go a day without thinking about how dope Along for the Vibes really is.
So, let me clarify for anybody listening. Along for the Vibes is a show that we do every Friday here at Austin, Texas, over at Cold Town Theater at 8:00. It's a live stream now, so you can watch it if you're watching this in the exact same way, just over at Twitch. But and we've sort of already talked about it, but I just want to clarify for anybody. It's like comedy, music, improv, sort of everything
storytelling
combined.
It's music, man. Did you say music?
Yeah, I did.
Because it's music now.
Music.
Like, dude, can we talk about music? Like real music now.
Yeah.
I mean, we make real music too. Let me not take us like we don't make real music. We make real music too. But I just had, and this just happened this weekend. I went and did a show. A friend of mine hit me up to do a birthday party show. This, I guess, comic had backed out, and so I don't know if you saw my Instagram post. I said I just had. I don't think I said my best. I think I said my favorite. One of my favorite sets ever.
Okay.
I went up in a room, and sometimes urban rooms we call urban rooms and call it black rooms are harder for me because I think that sometimes us as black people, we want the finished product right then and there. We don't want to listen to the setup. We don't want to listen to the misdirection.
Sure.
We just want the punchline right then and there. But it's when you do an outside show and the music's not good or the sounds aren't good or it's just whatever, those can be very, very hard. And so I had a show before that one, the day before that one, with pretty much the same guy that didn't go that good. And I'll be the first to admit, I was like, ooh, that stunk that one up, I felt like if we had 4 comics, I might have been number 4, at the bottom of the totem pole. It's part of life. Yeah. It's how it goes. Well, the very next night, I'm driving back from my son's tournament, and the guy hits me up. He says, hey, man, what are you doing? I have a spot potentially for you. A comic just dropped out, and I need a fill. And I was like, man, is he about to have me do the same type of BS again?
Yeah.
I ain't finna eat shit 2 times in 2 days. But then some say, you know what? Nah. Do you have anything to do? Well, no. Are you a comic? Well, yes. Then hear him out. And so I said, hey, well, what's up? And he had already sent me the information by that point. And I was like, all right. Where are you getting paid to do it? I'm like, you're a comic. You always say you want to get paid for comedy. Here you are getting paid for comedy. Go do it. And so I went and did it. And when I tell you, we didn't get on stage till like 10:30. So I was like, dude, I'm trying to go to bed because I have a tournament the next morning.
Yeah.
Right. And people drinking, smoking, whatever. But I said, you know what? We're inside. Let's hear it out. And so I sat in my car and I kind of made up a game plan. I kind of made a game plan for what I wanted to talk about because I had some things that have happened. I had a basketball game that almost, turned to a fight. I have this thought about this. I have this thought about that. And I said, dude, it's not that you can't perform in those rooms. It's that your approach has to be different. For me, my approach has to be different. My approach has to be different for every room I perform in. But I know that when I make that transition to what people consider an urban crowd, my approach has to be a little bit different. I have to be a little faster. I have to have a little more crack to me, but I still have to be myself. I'm not going to go in there and shuck and jive. I tell people, I will shuck and jive if that's what I want to do, but I'm not going to shuck and jive because you want me to do it. If I want to do it, I'm going to do it. If I want to be very straightforward and really well thought out and put together, I'm not doing it because you want me to do it. I'm doing it because that's what I've chosen to do.
I also think for urban rooms, it's better to be a little bit more cynical. There's like this type of material that works in those rooms where it's like, what the fuck is this? What's going on with this? You've seen this on the news. You've seen this, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
You're very like I've been thinking about giraffes.
Right.
Or like, I got a Spanish speaking dog. It's like, it's like
Right.
those types of more silly bits.
And they don't want silly.
No.
But you can get silly with them.
Yes.
But they have to trust you first.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with the second show.
Yeah.
First of all, I'd already been there. So everybody's seen me. So the I part was already done. Big dude, comic, named Courtney. I had at least 3 different people go, "You ready? Are you nervous?" And my answer always is, "Yes, I'm nervous. Like, this is something I really love to do."
Yeah.
But I'm not nervous because I'm scared of y'all. I'm nervous because I'm ready to get on stage and y'all keep pushing the damn start time back. I might fall asleep. So it was serious. It was, Chris, I moved my car, and for a second I was like, I could just drive away. you ever reposition your car, but you have to put it in drive for a second? And so although you're only putting it in drive to go somewhere small, you realize that there's nothing stopping you from just leaving.
Yeah.
That's why being an adult is so dangerous, because you can just leave. When you're a kid, it's like you have to be here until your kids pick you up, or your parents pick you up. But when you're an adult, you can leave anytime you want.
Whatever.
I'm leaving the country. Bye. But I remember, though, I was like, okay, this is my game plan. Now, I didn't go in there with, like, I'm going to say these specific jokes this time. I went in there and I said, this is what I'm going to do. And I went up there, man, and I just talked, and I played around. I was cutesy with them. And then I was able to get to a point where I said, okay, I'm going to drop this joke in. I did this joke. Went over just fine. Then I was, back with this, and I talk a little bit about a story. And my stories, I think my stories are where I really shine best. And I was like, man, you can't do stories with them. I said, yeah, you can. They just have to trust you. You have to show them that you are a comedian first. And then once you've shown them that you are a comedian, now you can tell that story. You still got to be funny. It ain't no, I'm going to tell a story, and then you just got to figure out the punchline. You figure out the punchline, and then you tell that story, and you give them that damn punchline. And so for me, I got to that, and I got to another one, and I got to another one, and it went, everything went well. Everything hit, and it's just one of those things when everything hits, it really makes you understand why you do this. And for me, when I have those moments, I honestly think if I always had the moments where it was always easy, I probably wouldn't do comedy the same way. I probably wouldn't even do comedy. I'd probably be picking something harder. Now, obviously, if I was getting paid, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to keep doing this thing.
Right.
But I would be searching for something else.
Sure.
Comedy is the thing I search for. The music stuff is my thing, too. That's my mistress. But the stand-up comedy, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
And for me, it's not guaranteed. There are bits that always work, and every once in a while they have a part that doesn't work, and that keeps me doing that bit.
Yeah.
Going from that one room, and it was an outdoor spot at that didn't work the day before, and then coming back and having to almost attack pretty much the same group of people. And get this, Chris, there were some people that saw both shows.
Yeah.
When I was done, one was like, that was way better than yesterday. And I was like, I know. But it was beautiful, though. I think it was I appreciated it more because not only the host that brought me in, but some people that saw the show the night before, it let me know that, hey, they saw you at, I'd feel like your worst, and then they just saw you at your best, because I know I hit them. That second show, I know I hit them. I hit them. I remember one girl came and said, can you please stop talking and just put your information in this phone? And I said, that's how I know I was on. Because at some point, you can just chew and it sound funny.
Yeah.
You locked in.
Yeah.
I was so locked in. And I ended my set before I wanted to. I hadn't been given a guideline on how long to go. But I was like, no, I got him already. I've made him laugh. I think I did about 15 minutes, but it was a banging 15. It was a banging 15. The night before I did 15, and it was a horrible 15.
Yeah.
But this one was one of those ones that I was like, man, I wish I would have recorded this, not necessarily to show anybody, but for me to look and kind of relive that moment.
Yeah.
And that's why I do comedy, because I know that in any moment you can have that one that makes you go, oh, no, I'm doing the right thing. You can also have that one that makes you go, oh, man, I might need to reconsider,
Yeah.
Maybe I need to lean heavier into telling stories or go work with kids or something, But that one Saturday night, that show, Saturday night, Chris, was that Saturday night or Sunday night? Yeah, it had to be Saturday night because last night was Sunday night.
Saturday night. You called me right afterwards. and I just got home from work.
Thank you.
I remember.
You just brought me back to what I was supposed to talk about.
Yeah,
The reason why
yeah.
I brought that up, that set was really good, though. That set was really good. But more importantly, there were musicians that were there, spoken word artists as well. And I was like, I know what I want this show to be now, our Along for the Vibe show. I want to bring in those urban, those black singers, musicians, spoken word people. I want to bring them to our show.
Yeah.
And our midpoint, I want to bring it in to where this looks like some access, like I think they call it public access looking stuff.
Yeah.
I want that.
Yeah.
I want to give an opportunity, because I even wrote the description of the show. I said we take new and upcoming comics and give them 4 minutes, and then their set is interpreted musically by a band. I'm leaning into who we are and what we are.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to masquerade and go, this is going to be the best comics in Austin. Might not be. We may have some.
We'll get there.
But
But
my point is, though, is that I'm talking about what we have right now, what we're currently doing.
Yeah.
I ain't worried about necessarily what we're going to do. Even I know we're going to do better.
Yeah.
I'm describing it as it is, because it's a free show. This is a free, unpaid show. People are performing on it, and they're doing this for the love of the game. We're performing on it for the love of the game.
Yeah.
The fact that we don't have to pay to be there, that's payment.
That's payment. Yeah, we're getting to use the venue for free.
Yes, and I was like, when I did that show, after I did my set, I was watching these people perform, and they were really performing, dude. And we're in this like little rental space.
Yeah.
And one guy came up and he was singing and dancing, and he only had a backing track. And he sung and danced his ass off. You could not have told him he wasn't Chris Brown, but I mean in a good way. And then there was a young lady that came up after him. She was doing a thing was like spoken word, but it was also music involved, and she had some backing tracks too. And both of them did so good. And then I look at our friend, the Strange One, and I was like, this show is for people like that.
Yes.
That's the kind of people that I want to come do Along for the Vibes. In addition to us and our comics that we bring on, the music part, I want to lean heavier into our locals that may not be getting broadcast out there because they might not be at the 999,000 followers yet.
Right.
And I work at the radio station. I have no choice but to bring our locals in. So I'm going to lean heavier on that. When I get back, I know definitely July. Might start this month, but definitely for July, I want to put a bigger emphasis on local musicians.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think you have this city, right?
Mm-hmm.
Austin, Texas. Mm-hmm. There's not a real Saturday night thing, right? Or a late night show.
There's not.
And that was one of the things when I ran one of our shows through ChatGPT, it said is like, you guys are kind of becoming the only late night show in Austin, Texas that exists. Right. And you can make it however you want. Yeah. And we're talking about also setting up some sort of, we're thinking about doing stuff like this with the projector thing here. And where I put the computer screen on a different, little screen. And that will, that was the goal, to put the stream on the thing. But also we were talking about Kenny Buttons has this thing coming out with these skit shows. Yes. He's also a comic. When he's ready to put those out, let him come on our show. I'm in. And we can watch his skits that he's made off screen, let him promote it, then let him show himself as a stand-up comic. Yep. We're giving somebody, what do you do? Right. Okay, is it good? Come do it. Yep. What? Do what? Whatever you do. Yep. Music, skits, comedy, fucking maybe you blow bubbles in a fun way. That's it. Yeah. We don't give a fuck. No. And there's also this thing now, and I don't know if you did this, but I've been talking about this on this podcast for months now, is nothing is one thing anymore. Nothing's one thing. And when I say that, I mean, when you think about, let's take an example, Kill Tony, right? All right, so Kill Tony is a stand-up comedy show. Right. Not really, though. There's a bunch of open micers who do 1 minute of stand-up comedy. Right. And, again, you can take our perspective on it, or you can take, Bill Burr's perspective on it, which is, you can't really do stand-up in 1 minute. That's not real stand-up comedy. You're kind of just finding words to get reactions out of people. Yeah. And so, and I don't want to disrespect that show, but what that show is it's kind of a internet live stream show that has stand-up comedy in it.
Right.
It's there, but it's not a stand-up comedy show. You look at the NFL now, is it really about football, or is it a entertainment thing that occasionally has football in it, and they want to bring up Kendrick Lamar, and they want to show Taylor Swift 550 times to get her play-by-play, a singer.
True.
Or, take Marvel movies. Are they really action movies? Are they really superhero movies?
Right.
Well, they're like kind of sitcoms. There's comedy in
right,
it.
But they're not
There's
comic book. Like, they're not true to just the comic book anymore. They're adding people in that didn't exist when that comic book was out. Yes, agreed.
So all these things are like, they're kind of one thing.
Right.
And I feel like, I don't know if you did this intentionally or not, that's what you created with Along for the Vibes.
Absolutely.
You've created something that cannot manage to fail.
Right.
Something that also incorporates everything,
yep.
yet still trying to be authentic.
Correct.
And that's really hard to do. And yet we've somehow done it. A lot of people might not be watching. That's fine. Whatever, let us grow, let us build, and we'll get better while people aren't watching. So then by the time people are watching, we're guaranteed success, can't fail, whatever.
That's all we need. And I mean, yes, that was all by design. Every show that I've done and that I continue to do is never just stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Even the Late Night Laugh show, it's stand-up comedy in an improv theater. And it's late night. And now it's pivoting to where now we're having a person that comes in and that's headlining, that gets to do an extended time, which is rare in Austin. Most people don't get a chance to do more than 10 minutes here.
Yeah.
And so for me, none of the shows that I ever do I set out to have them just be run of the mill. I always think that, there's a bunch of run of the mills, and I think that really it's an experience that you're after. And I always think about what does the audience get out of it? The audience for Along for the Vibes gets to see music, stand-up, sketches. They get to see people figuring it out right now in the interface. But they also get a chance to be a part of it.
Yeah.
They also can sometimes be the comics themselves. We talk about how we don't want comics that are going to hide. We don't want comics that are going to perform and then dash off.
Yeah.
We want comics that are going to be there and be able to give some kind of feedback during the dang show, during the performances themselves, even if they're not the one performing, or if they did perform and now they're just an audience. We want those kind of people. And so this is an experience. And I think that what I create, and what I always seek to create with Simply Haha, anything Simply Haha, is an experience. I want you to remember this. I don't want you to just say, oh, their jokes were funny. I want you to say their jokes, and then I want to comment after that. Oh, the comedy was funny. And I don't want it to just be one thing. And so you hit the nail on the head with not just being one thing anymore.
No,
comics aren't just one thing anymore. Most comics that we know can moonlight as other things.
Yes.
I'm a comic, but I'm also a musician. Oh, I'm a comic, but I'm also an artist. I'm a comic, but I'm also a producer.
Yeah.
I'm a type. I do, photography. All these things are multi-hyphenates now.
Yeah.
Most performers that we really fuck with are multi-hyphenates.
Yes.
We don't know too many people that just do comedy. Like myself, you like, oh yeah, he just does comedy. I was like, bitch, I do a lot more than just comedy. Even you just throwing the fact that I'm a dad.
Yeah,
that's just something that my schedule, if you ask me what my schedule is, it's going to be split 50-50 between comedy and my kids at minimum. Some days it's not even 50 anymore. Some days it's 70-30. Some days it's 33 here, 33 here, 33 here.
Yeah.
There's a third thing that's in there.
Yeah.
But none of us are just one thing. And I think that stuff like Along for the Vibes allows us people to have a moment to where we can use multiple skills that we're good at.
Yes.
And be applauded for it. You can go up and be the guy that put together. I always make sure I give you credit and give you love during the show when we're doing our close, because I was like, dude, none of this shit happens without you. You guys would barely be able to hear us if Chris wasn't here. If Chris is here, we have this thing happening, this thing happening, this thing happening, this thing happening. If Chin is here, we have this thing happening, this thing happening, this thing. If Josh is here, this thing, this thing. If Mars is here, Joey is here. The list goes on and on.
Yes.
And so I love the fact that people are getting to be great in multiple ways. And I always want that. I don't want you to just do one thing. I had a boss that used to want us to cross train. She said, hey, when you find something else that you want to do, like there's a department, talk to me and I'll carve out some time for you to go over there and cross train and learn about that department for the week, So that way if you want to laterally move, you may not get vertical. You may not get promoted vertically. You may literally just change assignments and now you're working in the aquatics department, or you're working in parks and you're working in forestry, or you're working downtown to offices and stuff. Yeah. So for me, I'm always one you guys to, if y'all have something y'all want to do, call it let your freak flag fly. I want y'all to do that. I really do.
I think our show is, I don't even know how to describe it. It's so mandatory for every person to be there. Absolutely. Like, with something, everybody brings something else to the table that's completely unique to that person. And I think that I always say this, I always talk to Joey about our show, and I always say, like, what is Courtney and, like, what is the positions of everybody? And I go, all right, so, like, have you seen The Sopranos? Simply Courtney's our Tony Soprano. The way he walks around, the way he handles everything, he's our Tony without the murder. And then you got me, I'm like, Paulie, I'm like the secondhand guy. Every single person brings something new to the table. Yes. And you don't even like you just said, you don't even fully know how one thing works. Right. You kind of have an understanding. You kind of have a gist on some of the stuff. Right. But, this was my original point too, which is sort of unrelated to the other thing I was talking about. But that's also why I feel like some comics who are just starting out now, who are coming to terms with this idea that I don't think you can just be a comic. Good luck. Well, you can't. I wish you the best of luck if you just want to do stand-up comedy and that's it and that's all you want to do. I hope you're Dave Chappelle. I hope you're that good at this thing. I'm not going to say you're not, but I'm going to say good luck. And I get frustrated with the fact that I know I'm not as good as a comic as I am because I do this podcast, because I'm trying to figure out live stream equipment, because I'm trying to figure out the technicalities between all the different inputs into the sound and making it all sound clear. And I've dedicated 4 months to figuring that out, coming home and researching and talking to ChatGPT and all this crap. Yeah. But you got to sit back and you got to go, yeah, I might not get the laughs per minute I want. I might be getting 2 big laughs per minute instead of 3. But I can do all this other stuff. And I think that the trajectory. Close enough.
Fixing the post.
People would go through in like the 90s, if you're a comic in the 90s, is get really good at stand-up. And then once you become successful through stand-up, get good at other stuff at that point. Like Jim Carrey or Robin Williams or all these other people. Now you get people like Bo Burnham, where like the whole time, he's making YouTube videos, he's writing songs, he's doing stand-up comedy, he's doing all these things. So then when he releases a Netflix special, you don't even really know what to call it. It's kind of a stand-up special, but it's also like all these different things put together of all the things that he's gotten to put in this theater-esque stand-up show. And that's sort of, I feel like you got to be patient with the fact that you're not going to be as good as a stand-up as you're going to be if you were just doing stand-up comedy.
You nailed it.
And speaking of Bo Burnham, I've always said, like, even from the start of the show, I'm like, we're going to get Bo Burnham on Along for the Vibes. That's like, that is my Super Bowl with Along for the Vibes. Is Bo Burnham comes in and does the whole piano thing and we just let him go.
He'll be one of the performers.
Oh, yeah. What do you think moving forward, what are your like next steps? Do you think that you want to add any other projects to your
I do.
Roster, or do you think
Absolutely.
that you just want to improve of what you already have?
I want to improve. Okay, so first one, taking the last thing you said, I want to improve on what I already have.
Yeah.
I want to not lose any more shows because I went through that cleansing of, I think I might have been up to 9 shows a month, and I had to cut,
Yes.
and I told myself I have to get down to 2 shows a month.
Yeah.
I'm technically not back to 9 shows a month, but all the shows that I'm doing now, they can. I want to say every show has happened without me being there multiple times now. Elgin continually happens without me being there. Thank you to Sherry and Allie, Lex out there at Elgin, Invis and Dance, make sure I get them right. Along for the Vibes continually happens with and without me. Shout out to the crew. Tiniest Bar, that's Hal, Sherry, and Seth Chavez. Late Night Laughs, that's Justin O'Donnell. I haven't done my apartment shows without me being there yet, because those are so tricky. They have to be clean. And, I mean, I know I have the crew of people that could probably do it.
Yeah.
But I just haven't had it happen yet.
Sure.
But at some point, I want to get those happening regularly to where it's not just a stream of income, but it's a stream of opportunity. Because what I'm building is a stream of opportunity. Everything that I have, and I hope I talked about this 2 years ago. If not, it's predicated on helping others as well. It's not only just me doing it. I talk about you. All these opportunities that I got, you have access to them because you've helped me with some of my private shows. You know, when I did where I was the MC for the was the Turkey Trot in Buda.
Yeah.
And you came and helped me set up. You know? I want to have those things happening to where there's multiple pieces of equipment that can go out and people can rent those things, or they're not renting them, but it's allowing the name Symply Haha to be producing shows in multiple places. You know, I did one where I had 3 shows in 3 different cities at the exact same time. We did a show out in San Antonio. This is when we did our we technically hosted Saturday Night Live in San Antonio, and at the same time I had a show happening in Elgin, and at the same time we also had the show happening back in Austin as well.
Yeah.
And so there were 3 shows happening at the exact same time that all were branded Symply Haha, you know?
Yeah.
Or Symply Courtney being me. But no, I want to do bigger. I want to help people. Do. We'll start small. I want to do somebody else's album. I still want to do mine. I haven't finished mine yet.
Sure.
Mine is still being edited by me, which was a big mistake. I'll talk about mistakes. My biggest mistake with that was not letting somebody else do it. I didn't have the money for it, and if anything, I was scared that I could like go, hey, can I pay you? You know, whenever I get paid, you know, weekly to do this thing. I should have did that. Instead, I elected to do it myself because 1, I couldn't afford it, but 2, I was just like, well, I want to know how to do this so that way the next time I do it, I know what to ask for. And the good thing about it, now, let me take the regret out, but it does suck. It takes a long time. Is that I've learned so much in the last year, because it's been a year of me kind of jumping in every so often and editing it, get frustrated, I leave it for a few weeks, and then I come back to it. But I've learned so much about editing. I've learned, like, because my own personal clips now. I have a handful of clips now that are multi-camera shots that I now know how to do because I've been working on this damn special for so long.
Sure.
And before, like I remember my boy Jeff tried to explain to me about having that, you know, picture in picture and having this and that, and also taking the track and bringing the track off so that when you're editing it doesn't mess with the sound. I remember he tried to explain it to me, and it was like he was talking garbled, you know? It was like,
yeah.
And I was like, okay, I get it. But now I understand all of that.
Yeah.
I'm not the world's greatest editor. I'm still editing on, you know, InShot on mobile stuff.
Sure.
But I have a better idea now of how to edit things because I've went through that fire, and I'm still continually going through it.
Yep.
But I want to get to the point where I can have these 3 shows. I can keep all the shows happening. Let me not say 3. All the shows can continually happen. They can all be successful, whatever that means. Everybody's making money. They're constantly sold out. We have to move them to another theater. Fill in the blank.
Yeah.
But for the short term, I want Along for the Vibes to go on the road. I want to get us into some festivals. I want my own stand-up stuff I want to be at the point where I can travel regularly and perform and have my kids benefit both being there with me in person, but also like my daughter, we're going to South Padre Island Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go. I have a show there, and we get a hotel, so we're going to stay there on the beach, and we're going to go play on the beach. Then I come back and I have an apartment show in San Antonio that Friday, and then Saturday morning I have my 48-hour improv marathon. I'm not on it. I'm just doing one spot. I'm not doing my 48 hours.
Sure.
So I'm just going to do like a 9 o'clock. So
Yeah.
that was what I did last year, dog. 48 hours. Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Holy shit. I know it's already been a year. I'm still I'm still shocked that it's like, I was like, bro, you did that. For those that don't know, I did a 48-hour improv marathon. That is pretty much what it sounds like. I did improv for 48 consecutive hours, every hour on the hour. No. You don't sleep. The way it works, you don't sleep. Like what I did is I took little micro naps. So I got the most sleep out of everybody, and by most sleep means I slept anywhere between 8 and 10 minutes.
Holy cow.
Yeah, but I'd lay on the cot, I'd put the cover over me, and they'd say places in 5, which means, we have 5 minutes before we really need to get out. And they'd say, all right, guys, next show, you're going to do such and such. And I'd check myself, make sure I didn't stink, maybe brush my teeth, drink some water, grab a snack or something, and I'd run out on stage and go perform.
That is nice.
2 straight days. Yeah.
Oh, I could not do that.
Oh,
bro.
it was wild. It was wild. 27. I tell people, hour 27 is when I quit. I remember I was like, oh, I'm leaving. Fuck you guys. I'm not even picking my shit up. I'm leaving. But before I knew it, I hit the wall at hour 27. And then probably like hour 35, I was like disgruntled between 27 and 35. And then once I hit 35, I was like, this is fine. I like these people again.
Yeah.
And I finished it out to the 48. But yeah, it's tough.
Holy cow. You probably gained a lot from doing that,
Hell
though.
yeah.
Like the amount of willpower and the fact that you were able to just go, I'm going to keep going and find the funny in nowhere.
Well,
I'm assuming.
Trusting
right?
yourself. My ability to be funny is my superpower. That's my superpower. I have a multitude of them, but I know that that's my ability. And at some point, you stop trying and you just exist. And you stop giving a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I fucked up 2. There's a lot of scenes I fucked up, but there was one where I was supposed to be a DJ, right? And I was the DJ at the prom.
Yeah.
And I didn't pay attention to where the scene was at because they were clearly not in the prom. They were doing something. It was like the day before the prom or something like that. Sure. But I popped up like I was the damn DJ. And it was like, dang, the DJ, you're not supposed to be here. And then they made the joke that, dang, not only did you show up early, you're in the park. You're not even supposed to be here right now. And so I said, fuck it, I guess I'm DJing here. And so the scene had to turn from what they were trying to do to the DJ is in the park DJing right now, the day before the prom. I don't know what I said. I might have said something goofy like, well, I'm practicing too or something. But it made the scene funny because they were just as tired as I was.
Yeah.
And instead of fighting, going, Courtney, you're wrong, because it's improv, you yes and this. You go, I guess we're dancing in the park now.
Yeah.
And so I was doing music in the park, That's what I think it ultimately made me rely on myself. Even though I had a team of people, it made me trust myself more. Because at some point when you're sleep deprived, you can't do anything but what's the first thing that comes to your mind.
Right.
It's like when everything breaks down, all you have is your wits and your instincts and your reactions.
Yeah.
And when you're that tired and somebody threatens to like punch you, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You're either going to try to block that hand that's about to punch you, or you're going to try to punch them first, punch you, or you're going to run, or you're going to drop on the ground, or you're going to go,
Right.
But whatever that is, that's your natural reaction. Now, if somebody says, hey, you got 3 days to prepare at 8:17 p.m., at this house, on this whatever, this guy's going to use his right hand. He's going to try to punch you. Well, now you can craft a whole bunch of scenarios like Batman and planning,
Right.
contingencies and stuff. I'm not even going to be there. I'm going to go to a different state.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call the cops and tell them he's going to punch me. You have all these things, but when you don't have time and space to like react to something, when all you can do is just react to it right then and there,
right,
that shows you really where you're at. And
improv
for 48 hours, it showed me where I was at. It did. Absolutely.
That is crazy, man. Oh, I could not imagine being on stage for more than 2 hours. So.
It's tough, bro. And the thing is, you're going and you're coming back. And the part that I always forget to tell people is that it's not the same show. Like, it's a different show. It's like we bring in troops. Like, for instance, me and my homeboy Chris, South Chris Viafano, we're going to do we have a duo called Good Rap, Bad Rap. And so we're doing regular scenes, and then all of a sudden, one of us will say, hey, that actually sounds like a rap. And so we'll repeat our lines, and then we'll rap and progress the story forward. Whereas, like, think of, okay, Along for the Vibes could be an example too. Along for the Vibes, that's one show. Good Rap, Bad Rap, that's another show. This thing, that's another show. So I have 48 of those with 48 different people. And so they would come in, sometimes it'd be like 1 or 2 people, or it might be a whole cast and people have to change clothes. It was all of that though. It was like, hey, okay guys, we're going to be doing Shakespeare. And I don't know shit about Shakespeare. Yeah. But I got an hour to, make this shit work.
Out. Sure. So it was 48 hours. You were on stage the whole time. There were like mini breaks,
you get 10 minutes. So we get 10 minutes after. So
you would do like 50 minutes, 10-minute break.
Minutes. Yep.
Go back up for 50 minutes, 10-minute break, 50 minutes. And you would go all the way till 5 o'clock in the morning and then keep going.
Yeah.
So was there anybody in the crowd?
Sometimes there were. So I don't think we had a single show that didn't have at least somebody in the crowd.
Wow.
But yeah, those
even at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Those 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
Wow.
You had some times where it would be like, 2 and 3 people in the audience, but it was somebody in the crowd every show. I remember Justin Morris came to a few of the shows. Yeah.
That is crazy, man.
Yeah.
Holy hell. So the things that you do, it's almost like they're so crazy and insane that the normal stuff comes easy to you.
Yeah.
So, like, Along for the Vibes is nothing because it's only going to be 2 hours.
Right. And it's like all the work that goes into it, I have to do that on Tuesdays.
Right.
Like, we do that on Tuesdays, but we're outside.
Sure.
And it's the elements, and it's not guaranteed, and it's rain, and it's...
Right.
We don't have a parking lot. We got the street. And so then when it comes for Friday, it's like, man... Bitch, we got a parking lot, and we're crazy. Inside.
Yeah,
we're in air conditioning.
Yeah,
yeah. I think that is. You probably describe my. I would say my process very well. It's like you do the crazy shit, so that way when you do regular stuff, that is kind of crazy. You're like, oh man, no man, you just see what I regularly do. Yeah. I take the hard way. I definitely could say I take the hard way.
Sure,
in a lot of things,
but it seems to work for you.
I think
a little bit. I mean, dude, I just, whenever I watch you work, it's so impressive. Like, there's something about you watching you work where, like you said earlier, there is no. Like, if somebody asks you to do a show and you go, okay, I go through this thought process of, well, I am a comic. I do want to make money for comedy. So here I go again. You got this 48-hour improv show. Oh, well, I'll figure it out. I'll get 10 minutes of sleep in 2 days. Why not? We got this music comedy thing we're doing on Friday. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll keep going. And it's the way in your ability that you've taught me to just figure it out. And there's no real direction in that advice. Right. But I think in that advice is probably the most important lesson because it's just do what you can.
Just do. You shorten it. When you do math, and like I think it's division, you're reducing fractions to their most simplest form, right? Just do.
Just do.
Just do. This is just do it. Just do something. Just do. Literally, and you could take the just out and say, do.
Yeah.
What do you do? That. That's it. I remember I was doing a hiring event. I was doing a hiring event. I got all these damn stories, but I was doing a hiring event, Parks and Rec. And we have all these young kids coming in looking for jobs for summer. And our job was to try to entice them to come work at our rec center because all the rec centers, it was like the first time that we had to literally compete with other rec centers to hire.
Sure.
Because it used to be like, well, you hire your own people, Right, okay, well, it's like 20 freaking rec centers. How about we just make a hiring event and just put us all in the gym and everybody comes with their little bulletin boards, their pictures, their mantras, and their people, and then we let the people come to us and let them decide who they want to apply to. So we did that, and I remember I had like about 4 waves where I was talking. I was feeling like I wasn't really connecting with people, right? Plus, I work at an inner city rec center.
Yeah.
You got Dove Springs and Ditmar who got all this extra money. You got Hancock, that's a bunch of white people that look fun. I'm like, I work at Metropolis, you know?
Yeah.
But I had to remember, I said, dog, but what do you want? I said, I don't want everybody. I want people that, if we don't have all the fancy equipment, because we don't have the same budget as these other places,
Yeah.
what are they going to do? If you got 25 kids looking at you and it is after lunch, we know that 12 o'clock till 12:30, really 12 o'clock to 12:15 because kids eat fast, is lunchtime. But at 1 o'clock, when there's no longer lunchtime, the cleanup is done, and I'm like, all right, you keep these kids occupied.
Yeah.
What do you do? And that's where I found out who my professionals were versus my amateurs. I don't need a whole crew of professionals, but I damn sure don't need a whole crew of amateurs either. And they said, what's the difference between a professional and an amateur? A professional is going to do.
Yeah.
They're going to do. 10 out of 10 times they're going to do. An amateur, you may have to motivate, you may have to give equipment, you may have to give assignments, you may have to give instructions, you may have to demonstrate, which is not a problem, but I need some doers. And so I don't give a damn. I tell them, I think I said straight up, I don't give a damn what you do as long as you're doing something.
Right.
Being present was the first one. I need you to show up and be ready to go. But the second part is, once you show up, I need you to do.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do, man. You may be like, hey, Courtney, I got this crazy idea. Okay, word, what is it? I'm going to go outside. We're going to make mud piles, and then we're going to record them. We're going to see how deep the field can go with water. Cool, let's go. All right, what you need from me? All right, I need a water hose. I need this, that, and that. Word, I got you. Next Monday, we're going to do that, okay? I need that because I know what I can do.
Sure.
I've done it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you to do the thing that I've already done. I'm not telling you to do something that I can't do. I'm telling you to do something I'm not able to do, and I would hope to not have to do because I have to do y'all's paperwork. Do you want to get paid?
Right.
I'm the one that does your payroll. Congratulations.
Right.
Oh, snap. You need vacation. Guess what? I'm the person that's going to find somebody to take your spot when you're going temporary worker. Oh, snap. You want to do this, that, and blah, blah, blah. You need somebody to write you a letter of recommendation because you're trying to go to college? Yeah, I'm going to do that in my office while you're doing that. And I tell you, I'm not minimizing what they're doing, but I love the idea that when I'm talking to somebody about something, I'm talking from experience. I'm not talking from inference. I'm not talking from what I think. I'm not talking from what I'm hypothesizing, you know? I'm talking about from what I've experienced, what I did. And now I need you to do the things that I did. I don't need you to do the things that I thought about doing. I need you to do the things that I did. And so with Along for the Vibes and with anything, if you get anything from me, you get that Courtney does. He continues to every fucking day. As much as I'm tired, as much as I want to quit, fuck, my birthday marathon. I love that my birthday marathon used to be the craziest thing that I did.
Yeah.
Until this 48-hour improv thing showed up.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, if you look at what I did, improv marathon, I want to say that was April. What month is this? This is May, right? Or June now?
June, yep.
Okay, so this is the 6th month. So let's say the improv marathon is next weekend, or just starting this weekend. In 6.5 months, and we'll talk about last year.
Yeah.
In 6.5 months, I did, let's say, north of 80 shows.
Holy cow.
In 6.5 months, I did over 80 individual shows, in addition to ones that I either produced, in addition to the 2 open mics that happen every week, in addition to the handful of little productions that I'm involved in that aren't even necessarily considered shows.
Sure.
In addition to the fact that I'm still a present dad.
Yep.
Present son as best as he can. I slack on the present son thing. I got to do better. But it ain't about what I want to do. It's about what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. 80.
So you're talking a lot about trying to find people, about and just in all different things. You've mentioned it a little bit now with like the rec center, with finding people with shows, finding comics, finding people who can sub in for you if you're not there. How do you go along about finding these types of people, and also how do you know that they are serious with what they're doing and what they say they're going to do for you? That's the first question.
Mm-hmm.
The second question is, you mentioned about how 2 years ago you could never imagine giving up your trust to somebody else. So number one, how have you found these people that you can trust?
Mm.
And number two, how have you figured out how to trust these people in 2 years?
How I go to find them, I think they find me. You guys find me.
So is there like,
Mm-hmm.
do you believe like in almost the law of attraction there, where you
yeah.
just sort of, you show up somewhere and you say, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And with that comes people who are going to start to introduce them. Interesting.
It happens. Like, I use Tiniest Bar. I feel like Tiniest Bar is the catalyst for all of it.
Okay.
The Tuesday, Thursday open mic.
Okay.
When I show up, generally, this is how it goes. I show up with the equipment, and if somebody greets me at my car, hey, what's up? You need help moving anything? Or if I get to the stage, which can happen sometimes, it's rare. Hey, man, can I move that for you? Or what you need? Those people are usually showing me themselves as I want to help. Now, their help may just be limited to just that day at that particular place. But then some of those people are in the third or second group where it's like they want to do something like host. They might just want to be able to just sign the list and get people organized or help me clean up. Then there's other people that I think is still part of the same second group that not only do they want to host, but they want to perform, but they want to learn something. Then there's that third group that they already had this idea. They just didn't know how to go about asking for it. But later on I find out, oh no, I always wanted to. And then they tell me the thing they always wanted to do. Me being who I am, who I've always been, when I meet that third group, my brain goes off with one, how can I help them do that thing?
Yeah.
Is it something that can apply a thing that I already am doing or getting ready to do? But how can I help them do that thing?
Yeah.
Well, yo, man, I just want to go up in a place and I want to throw a pie in the air and I want to catch it with my face. Shit, Thursdays we got Tiniest Barn. You know what? Saturdays we outside already. You want to make that be a gag that you do on Saturdays? Well, you can host this show and then be the podcast, and
Yeah.
But that's how my brain works. No matter how
Sure,
ridiculous
yeah.
the thing is, I want to try to make it. Now, that person has to prove. Like, I don't want to say prove because it feels like I'm just judging thing, but that person has to show themselves to be dependable. And I'll give, like, you're a great example. When you and your friend, when y'all would show up and y'all would help me, I was like, okay, these are people that I can, I don't say use comes out wrong, but that I can rely on to help me set up stuff.
Yes.
But then there was a time where y'all weren't available anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of got rough on me because, well, damn, it's all me.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is when y'all left, Dizzy sold up. It was like Dizzy and I think one other person. I can't remember who the second person is off the top of my head, but all of a sudden there were two more people that were now showing up in y'all's place.
Yeah.
And everything that has happened, even with Tiniest Bar in Texas Open Mic, whenever people would come to help,
Yeah.
they were the people that were helping for that time period. Then when they'd move on, they'd go chase the dragon somewhere else, or they'd stop doing comedy, or they would just move, or whatever. Before I knew it, a new group of people showed up and replaced. And each time, I can say without a shadow of a doubt, and you're a different version now than who you were back then.
Yes, absolutely.
Y'all are better. And I say the people that show up to help me are better than the people that left. And each time, I mean, I've been doing the Tiniest Bar and open mic. That's probably been going on for about, I think it's about 5 years. It's 4 or 5 years.
It's crazy.
And every time the group of people have departed, a better group of people have replaced them. And each time sometimes I'm kind of butthurt, but I know that there's better coming. I'm like, damn, man, it's just me. But then all of a sudden I look up and it's like clockwork. Hey, what you need? Okay, I'm gonna go grab the stools. Oh, hey, I'm gonna go get this. Hey, I'm gonna go turn the music off. Hey, I'm gonna do this. Hey, blah, 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 blah. There have been times where my door has opened before I put my car in the park. And people are already grabbing stuff and bringing it to this, doing that. Tuesdays are always one of my favorite ones because it's such a lengthy setup that Chin has their stuff, Joey has their stuff, Josh and Mars have their stuff, I have my stuff. Everybody has so much going on.
Yeah.
And it's like clockwork, like ants working. And so I love that because I have to learn how to trust. And I don't think I would get this far, one, without other people helping me. But two, I don't think I would have the group of people that help me if I didn't trust and give everybody carte blanche to do them. Hey, Courtney, I got this idea. Go for it. Hey, can I get 4 minutes on the show tonight? Yeah, do it. Hey, man, I'm about to bring a bunch of people out. Can I make sure that one of them gets on? Yeah. Also, can I perform? Sure. Hey, I want to do the lighting like this. Go for it. Hey, man, is it okay if I go for it? Dizzy was on every damn in the round show that I had. Even if I was the one hosting, Dizzy was on every show. That was the one thing they wanted. Tiffany, shout out to Tiffany Epiphany. When we did Comics and Queens, first of all, Tiffany performed on all of them. But later on, once we moved inside, because I was like, well, the makeup has to be able to stay on outside at the line. They're melting. They're freaking sweating their makeup off before they even have a chance to perform. So I said, okay, well, Moon Tower, my boy, God dang, I'm missing my boy's name. We used to do a show a Friday. Blake Safi.
Yeah.
We used to do a show over there at Moon Tower. Blake said, hey, I'm not gonna be able to keep doing this thing anymore. And I was like, all right, well, I talked with them. I said, hey, can I bring my half comedy, half drag show over on the dad day of y'all's? And it was a Thursday. So it worked out. So Comics and Queens was now happening there. And that gave us an inside place. That gave us a place for them to change. It was a little harder, but they didn't charge to do the show.
Yeah.
And I think that it was more beneficial being there than being at the line anyways. Sure. But I put more energy into Tiffany being the host. I said, hey, I need you to be the focal point. One, I know that I'm about to do these 40 shows in 40 days for my birthday, and I'm going to be missing. Also, my son has games during the week. And also, I run an open mic on Thursdays. So it's going to be hard for me to just be in one place. So what I'm going to need you to do is step up and become the face. And you'll be the person that's running this. I'll still do my stuff on the back end. I'll make the site. I'll help book the comics. I'll pay everybody because that's what I was doing always, paying the comics especially. We got that. But I just need you to be comfortable on the mic. And that's what I did. And I pushed Tiffany up to be the host of that. And it's always benefited me because I don't go out and ask. Like, you might see me ask for a host every now and then. Anybody down to host or whatever? But more times than not, people can sense when I need something. And I'll be like, hey, man, if you ever need me to host, I can host. And I'm like, funny you ask, because I need that tomorrow, you know? It's so much, though. It's so much that the universe, and I like that you use the phrase law of attraction, because the law of attraction has benefited me, and it continues to benefit me so much with people that do. People that do. Law of attraction. It's like, I need a doer. A doer just comes off of a train and lands. I just got here 2 minutes ago, and they told me to come to Tiny's Bar in Texas. And that's the new person that could do or whatever. I don't want to put a name on it because there are more things that are going to happen. I know it.
Yeah.
There are more things that are going to happen because you got to come with us to the freaking Tequila 512 place.
Oh, yeah. That's big.
Yeah.
Is that ever by the way, is that ever happening? Or is it plans? Talks?
It's not plans yet because I like what we're doing at Cold Town right now, and I don't want to confuse us.
Sure.
I want us to figure ourselves out first. Right now in the short term, no. I don't plan on us going over there right now.
Yeah.
I want us to figure out this Cold Town thing, and really it's our system. We have to figure our system out first before we go over there because that's going to be a different monster. We may have to either pay or we may have to really set something up long term in the future to do that over there. I don't know. Also, I don't know. I can go talk to them and say, hey, can we just come by and just do a test run one day on one of y'all shows? And they say, oh, yeah. Then I'll say, all right, Chris, here's the deal. This is what our parameters are.
Yep.
We have an hour to set up.
Yep.
We're going to do the show like this. And then we have an hour to break down, because it takes us a long time to really set up to get where we're needing to go.
Yeah.
We can do it quick, but I want us to do it right.
Yeah.
We can do it quick.
Yeah.
But I want us to do it right.
Yes.
And for us to do it right, there are certain things that we need that we currently don't have yet.
No.
There are opportunities out there, though.
No.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was agreeing with you.
There's comedy festivals. I was this close to pulling the trigger on submitting us for Out of Bounds Festival. The submission deadline just passed, I think, yesterday.
Okay.
And I ended up not doing it only because I was like, dude, I know that I want us to be in a festival, but I don't think we're ready just yet. I want us to do it, though, and I know that we could do it. We could do it right now.
Sure.
But the way that we're going to do it,
yeah,
I want us to have it to where it's almost like, we can just walk in that bitch and set that shit up in 30 minutes or less.
Yeah, agreed.
I want us to be able to go in, do a sound check, and as we're sound checking, we're plugging stuff in, and we know where we're going. Tuesdays, we're starting to set up on Tuesdays like we did on Fridays. Like I'm making the band set up the same way that they would on Fridays, like that on Tuesday. So that way when we come in, we already know what plugs we need. And if
Yeah.
not, we know who to ask because we're in a different venue. Let me slide one real fast. We have a potential opportunity, and I think this is something we can do in the short term. Chris Harrison asked us about doing their show. They have a musical show. That's essentially what we do already. And he was asking if we could just bring our version of our show over there. And it's going to be the week that you guys are going, you and Joey are going. But
shit.
I'm going to set it up to maybe we go over there and we do the performance part. Yeah. But I do want us to start working with guys like that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a doer. I'm telling you, all I'd look for really is doers. That's it.
Also, going back to what I asked before with trying to find people using the law of attraction, it seems like you set up things or opportunities for people to come ask if they want to help.
Absolutely.
Like you said with the rec center, like you were like, well, then let's set up this thing where all of us come into one gymnasium and then people figure out if they want to go wherever they want to go.
Yes.
Or with Tiniest Bar, it's like, this is an open thing. You can come do a set, or you can, come meet me, which is like kind of the head of this large operation that's running. Do you have a specific thing, or do you have a feeling of what is going to work for you? Like, what do you think your big break is going to be? Or
no, I don't know.
You have
I don't know.
idea?
I think it's stand-up comedy, but then I also sometimes think it's producing. But then I also sometimes, my boy Joe's calling. I also think sometimes my music thing. I think this would be kind of cool.
Joe Barksdale?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Let me do this real quick. I think this would be neat. Yo, Joe. Nothing much, man. I got my boy. Me and Chris are actually doing a podcast
what's up, Joe?
right now.
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, nice. Tell Chris I said what's up.
He can hear you. I got you on speaker right now. He can hear you. I got you on speaker. I thought it would be really neat if he heard your voice as well.
Oh, what's good, Chris?
What's up? How you doing, my man? You're on the podcast right now.
Oh, it's good to be back. It's good to be back.
Second time, dude. Second
that is
appearance.
So cool. Dude, that is so cool that you call while we're doing this, dude. I said, no, wait a minute, that's Joe. I have to answer this on the podcast, dude.
Oh, dude, we miss Joe.
Yeah.
That's my man. You could have sent me the voicemail, man. I'm sorry.
No, Joe,
No, you're great.
You're family, bro.
You're great. You're still one of my best episodes, dude. Come on. You're always welcome here.
And anytime I can answer, I'm going to do my best to answer because you that dude, man.
Oh, man. Y'all go ahead. Y'all giving me way more credit than I deserve right now.
That's all right.
I'm humbled.
Well, I'll hit you back, man.
Yo, Pete,
Right, for sure.
I'll call you when I'm going on vacation soon. I'll give you a phone call when I go on vacay.
Oh, nice. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Sounds good, brother. Talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Y'all keep killing it.
All right, yes, sir. Yeah, that's my boy right there. But see,
Dude, yeah, by the way,
yeah.
Austin misses him.
Yes,
Oh
we
my
miss
God,
him.
dude.
That was one of the people that I talked to, and it's weird because, man, my people, dude, you're a part of this. You guys, and I should say we, but you guys, y'all will have y'all's moments where y'all are going through it, and I'm like the voice of reason and seeing y'all through the storm.
Sure.
And then, God damn it, I'll be going through my stuff. And now all of a sudden I'm talking to y'all and y'all are there. Sometimes I don't, because I think when I'm going through it, sometimes I don't speak in full thoughts. I just let you know what the emotion that I'm feeling is.
Yeah.
And I take exactly the specific thing that's happening right now or what I'm trying to avoid or what I'm dealing with. But I don't give you the full backstory. Oh, Hunter Parker's another person. I got to give Hunter Parker a shout out too, because Hunter Parker was there for me a lot when I was putting things together. But there were so many times where y'all go through something and I'll be the one that's like, knowing what you're going through, whether I literally experienced it or not, but then also able to keep a clear, level head, but be respectful to your feelings.
Yes.
Because the hardest thing when people are doing is, and it's empathy. It's an empathy. If you haven't been there, then it's sympathy, obviously. But if you have been there before and you hear a person going through something, you listen to them. And you don't minimize their feelings. Don't minimize. And for guys, sometimes it's not even trying to find a solution for the person. And I say, well, I'm a solutions-oriented person. That person may just need to be heard right now. They may not need to have a solution thrown at them.
Yeah.
I get it. Well, this is their fifth time telling me about this. I'm tired of hearing it. Then stop answering the phone. Stop answering the damn phone because that person needs to know, okay, let me call somebody else. Because I promise you, if they call you and you don't answer, after a fourth or fifth time, they're gonna realize, oh, let me call somebody else then.
Yeah.
But don't answer and then tell this person, I'm tired of hearing you always do that. Oh, you need to man up, man. Fuck that. That's how you kill people. That's how you kill. I'm being real. That's how you kill people. Telling somebody to man up when a person needs a hug, and all you can give them is some mean shit. There are some people that maybe need that. I ain't gonna say that everybody's the same because we're not. I know I'm not one though. I'm not one that needs that. I need love. When I need love, when I need you to listen to me, when I need you to hear me, when I need you just to go, yeah, that bitch is crazy. I need that.
Yeah.
I don't need the damn, and whatever. I think sometimes we get so caught up in trying to perpetuate certain looks.
I think men in particular, men have this weird thing where if they talk to another guy, their guy is like, let me try and figure out a solution for your problem, because men are very like, let's figure this out and I'm going to help you and there's this problem and it can be solved and I can solve it because I'm a man.
And I don't like the feelings. That's what it is. Really, it's trying to avoid the feelings.
Yes.
Part. Oh man, you're crying. Let me grab some tissue real quick and put it in your fucking face.
Yeah.
No, motherfucker, let them cry.
Yeah.
Oh shit, but if you know why our noses bleed sometimes? Not all the time. Our noses bleed sometimes because there's an infection going on. They need to get something out. Or something's broken and they're getting stuff out the way so it can clot. You know what eventually happens? The shit clots. What do they tell you once your nose bleed clots? Okay, stuff it if you can, but don't pull the damn clot out until you're somewhere where you can deal with the blood that's going to come out. So I think in life, we sometimes don't let stuff clot. We just try to quickly hurry up and patch it up.
Yeah.
And we don't even know what the fucking problem was.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
And I know that as a guy, speaking as a guy, because I've never experienced being a woman.
Yeah.
We respond so fucking quickly because we're trying to find the quickest solution to get away from our feelings.
Yeah. Oh
shit, they're crying. I feel awkward right now. I don't know if this guy should be crying near me. I feel like it's making me soft.
Yeah.
Let me try to help him. Here's some money. No. Talk if you can. Some people ain't though, and this comes back to doing. Sometimes the do is shutting up and listening. Sometimes the do is showing up. Sometimes the do is, hey, and then you stop and you let the person fill in the rest of the fucking space.
Sure.
And I've had that with all of you guys. And I think it's beautiful that he called because he's one I've had it with on both sides.
Oh.
I've talked to him when I was going through it. He's talked to me when he was going through it. I've been on road trips before, and we've talked almost the entire road trip.
Yeah.
To the point where I was like, hey, man, I'm about to be at the show. Let me call you back.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side, he's done that for me.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just really neat how you guys have found me, and I've found y'all.
Yeah.
All y'all. He's not on that. We got close because of Tiniest Bar.
Yeah.
It was more times, I think, that I was able to kind of connect with him with Tiniest Bar than other places.
Yeah. And then what I was going to say, too, is like some men, they have a problem with talking to women.
Yeah.
Because women are very good at, like, listening, I think. But also, men don't like to talk to women because some women, not all, see that as weak. I mean,
everything can be looked at as being weak. Ain't it crazy?
Looked at it as being weak. And I think it goes both ways. I think there are some women who don't like to watch guys cry. They just don't. And then I think that there are some men who don't like to cry in front of women. And I think it just leads to this thing of sometimes men don't know where to go.
We're not allowed to. We're not taught, and we're not raised up or reared in how to do other emotions other than anger or laughing at something. So cynicism, being cynical, is looked at as normal. That's like with the black culture. We kind of started talking about the black culture a little bit when it comes to comedy. If you go up there and you express straight up disdain and hate, oh, we can take that. But now you start talking about lust. Okay, that's cool. Still funny, but you better talk about some nasty stuff. But if you start talking about something that just makes you happy, now it's weird. Now it has to be wrapped in a, like my joke about people falling. People like that. It's funny. Yeah. And they can laugh at that. But then when I turn and it goes from, what I like about falls is that it shows you everybody's human and equal. Oh, here he goes with this. Then it comes to, I think it's
gay shit.
Yeah, right. People go in there or they say, I'll say, what's crazy about falls is that when you're able to get up, That's the real blessing in the whole thing. That the fact that you're able to fall and still know that you fell, but then you're able to get up.
Yeah.
Now you're living on the right side, and that's the blessing in it. Now, some people might turn away from that and go, "Oh man, here we go preaching or whatever it is, kumbaya." But I was like, y'all were cool when I said it's funny to watch people fall.
Yeah.
Y'all were cool with that. And I get it. I understand it. That's why that joke exists. That whole bit exists. So I can do two things. One, I can preach a little bit and I can uplift, but I can also be funny and be cynical all at the same time. And in one whole minute, I go from...
Very interesting.
Yeah. One whole minute I go... And it's all true because we all fall. We all are going to fall. We all have fell.
Yeah.
And falling is a metaphor for life. Getting knocked down, giving up, getting things taken from you, losing people. Now you can't trust these people, but now all of a sudden it doesn't say don't trust nobody. It just says you don't trust that person. But what happens the next time you have a chance to trust somebody? Do you trust, or do you say, well, no, man, I'm on the ground? Well, when you fell down, did you just lay there? No, eventually I got up. I was embarrassed, though. Yeah, you're embarrassed. But what happened? Well, at some point I had to get up. Am I talking about falling, or am I talking about something else? The answer is yes. All of the above. And so people, and I'm saying people, but it's really men, have to understand that we are allowed to feel. We're allowed to feel sadness, longing. I had a bit that I was working on that I kind of stopped on so far, was the fact that somebody that I low-key liked got married. And all of a sudden I realized that the chances of me going and kindling, ain't no rekindling, kindling a relationship with them on a romantic side was gone, at least for the time that they're married. It was a feeling that I hadn't had before. I was like, damn, I don't even know what this word, I don't know the word for it. It's a regret for something that ain't ever happened. It's a regret, though. As a man, that's something that we don't often talk about. We talk about, man, I wish I got at that girl one more time. What if you never got at the girl at all? You know? And so for me, I'm closer every day. I'm closer to being able to express and feel things that we don't normally get to express and feel. You can be sad. It's okay to be sad. But there's how many emotions do we have out there? How many senses? Let me take emotions out of it. How many senses do we say we have?
Five, right?
Yeah.
And then some people say they have 6.
And some people say there's more. Oh, I like that. And then Bruce Willis, Haley Joel Osment. But there's so many other things, though. There's so many other feelings that you can have. You walk into a damn room and you're like, what the fuck I walk in this room for? And then you remember it at the last second, and there's that sense of relief that you get. There's something there.
Yeah.
The fact that your body can go, I don't feel good. I need to sit down.
Yeah.
There's something there.
Yeah.
Man, I'm hungry. There's something there. I'm sleepy. Something there. Man, I didn't sleep good. Something there. Yo, I think it's about to rain outside. Something there.
You get a headache before it rains.
I got a headache. I don't feel safe in this room. Ooh, this room reminds me of where I've been at. Go ahead.
Have you ever been in a room with a gun before?
Yeah.
Do you feel the gun in the room? I've felt guns.
Fuck feeling the person. Fuck feeling the gun. It's the person that scares me more.
Yeah.
The person. When you're in a room with a person that you don't feel like is mentally stable, or a person that you've had conversations with that has shown you they're not mentally stable, that's the one that scares me more. Fuck being in a room, sleeping in that room. Having your kids have to be in that room. Your kids.
What's that thing called where you feel like you've been there before?
Deja vu.
Deja vu. What is that?
Good question. I don't know.
I feel like we're all kind of, all these things are examples of sort of the thing that you're talking about.
And that's what I'm talking about is that, fuck it, we're here. I got really high. Once. I got really high. It was New Year's. And I got, like, when you do too much. Yeah. Like they say, don't do this. Like they say, do 10. Yeah. I did probably 100. I did something stupid. It was too much. I was in a fucking Tesseract. Sure. I was in a Tesseract. This is about to turn Joe. This is going to be JRE. This is your JRE clip. Where's the camera at? We're going to make sure we get your JRE clip. You want your fucking JRE clip, Chris.
Let me zoom in on your face right now.
Fuck me, dude. All right, you're going to get your JRE clip, and I will fucking react to it. I may not put it on my page because I got some gigs that I need people to believe in old Courtney. They don't need to be like, oh, my God, he's going to do a comedy show for kids. He's talking about this weed stuff. Here's your JRE clip. So and I think it was New Year's. It was around New Year's. I got some kind of edibles that were just fucking powerful.
Yeah.
No business. I said, when they tell you do a corner, ladies and gentlemen. Do a fucking corner. Because I'm all like, man, I've been smoking. I ain't able to get high lately, so I need to smoke more. Man, this ain't nothing. Man, this damn THC ain't nothing.
Yeah.
You know what? My tolerance is too high. I'm a big dude.
Yeah.
My lungs is big. I need more than what the average person needs. So you know what? I'm going to give it an hour. The classic, it ain't hitting an hour.
Of course.
Let me go ahead and do another one. Did the whole thing. Oh, God almighty. Did the whole thing, Chris. Chris, I was so high, first of all. I laid down. I went pee. I went poop, too. When I tell you I went pee and poop, I walked somewhere in my house, and I went and peed and pooped somewhere. And I remember, because I know what I feel like when I'm going to the bathroom. And the next day, we're going to fast forward for a split second. I woke up and I was like, yo, I peed and I pooped somewhere in this house. Where the fuck did I pee and poop at? I walked around the house. I had to canvass the house, like the closet. Did I open the door? I know I opened the damn door and I squatted.
Yeah.
I peed and I pooped somewhere. And they say when you pee and poop in a dream, you pee and at least poop in the real life. So I know for a fact that I remember squatting and doing it, but it ain't there. I ain't found it. Still ain't found it. This is June. 6 months, still ain't found the pee or the poop in the house. But
is it possible you used the bathroom?
My mind is like, so okay, you getting ahead in the story, but yeah, I think there's a chance that
go back.
There's a chance that my brain was like, I got you. I'm gonna get you to this bathroom. I can't guarantee anything else, but I'm gonna get you to this bathroom. Because I was thinking to myself, I was like, bro, if I let it go, because I remember I let it go. I'm like, let's think, I'm eyes closed, letting it go. And I was like, did I do this or not? And it's like, bro, if your brain said you did it, you did it. So maybe I went to the bathroom. But what I was going through that night, man, I was going through so much that I was too high to be awake, but I was too high to go to sleep. So I was laying there, and I can only describe it as a tesseract. I was looking at a square, a cubed object that was rough on some sides, but it was feathered. And so there was like little strands of it, but I'd touch it and it would be rough, but then I could stick my hand in and it would be soft. And so I'm sitting there and it would be smooth. Then also be, and it would be smooth. Then be, and it was like the waves of the weed were going in. And I remember going, damn, man, I'm fucking too high, but I can't do nothing about this. What can I do? I just got to lay here and set it out. Well, what if I can never come back from this? It's like, no. You do comedy, first of all. Your brain is stronger than this substance. And so I had to rationalize and keep myself from freaking out. I said, it's going to dissolve in your stomach because your stomach has all the acid and stuff in there. And at some point, it's going to wear off. And your brain is going to it's going to figure out how to overpower this because it knows that you don't feel safe. Or it's going to figure out a way to make you strong enough to deal with it until it wears off. But trust your brain. And so whenever I freak out, I'd be like, brain got me. Brain got you. I was all right, what can I do? All right, let's think about some stuff then. Let's take advantage of this. Well, the movie Lucy, they talk about using X amount percentage of your brain. Well, what's that like? Okay, what was some things that we don't normally think about? Well, what if you could walk in a room? You know how you all of a sudden remember what the hell you went in the room for and you feel proud? What if you could just conjure that up anytime you wanted to? Or what about the feeling of, damn, I miss that girl. And then she calls. What if you could just conjure that up anytime you wanted to?
Yeah.
Not the actual act, but the feeling, because there's something that happens in your brain. There's a chemical that's released in your brain when that stuff happens. I don't know if it's dopamine or what, but whatever it is, there's something that happens. It's just like when you're driving and you're like, oh shit, we home. I can turn the GPS off. What if while we're sitting here talking, you could just make that happen anytime you wanted to in your brain? Nobody knows it's happening except you, because you're the only one that knows it's happening, unless you vocalize it.
Mm-hmm.
So my brain was doing that, and I was thinking of that stuff, and I was like, dog, how does this apply to comedy? And I was like, well, in comedy, we can tell people stuff that makes them sad. In comedy, we can tell people stuff that makes them laugh. in comedy, we can do things. I have all the times where I'll be talking about something on stage and I'll see somebody nudge the person next to them, go, yeah, that thing. Yeah, you be doing that. Could you imagine if I knew how to make that happen for me?
Mm-hmm.
Take a step further for the audience. What kind of jokes, what kind of performances am I doing that can make these emotions happen? So it's not just about, and I say emotions and I use senses kind of interchangeably, the sense of touch, taste, smell, hearing, sight, right? What am I missing?
Sight, touch, smell,
Hear. So all they're doing is they're hearing me say stuff. They're seeing me say stuff, but they can't taste me. They ain't touching me. But through me just having them hear me and see me, I'm able to get them to feel me. If I'm able to go up there on stage and talk about, man, y'all know what it feels like when you first get in that damn swimming pool, when you wasn't sure if you could really swim, and then you later find out that you didn't drown. You remember that feeling? That's what I'm talking about. It's little things like that. And so as I was sitting there in that bed, I was going through all of that, but I feel like it unlocked a sense of duty for me. It unlocked that. I was like, yo, with this comedy thing, because earlier you asked what your goals are. I want to do performances that allow people to feel. Not just hear, not just see, but feel. I want you to feel. I want you to go, no, that touched me. And I ain't on no fake shit. I ain't on no I'm trying to, affirmation song people or go up there and pander and shit. No, man, I want to be so good at this thing that I'm able to describe something and you can see it. You can close your eyes and see it. And I always used to love that people would tell me when I told stories, they said, dog, I could see it. The way you were describing it, I could see it. I could fucking see it, dog. That's real. The way that you just described that thing that happened to you, I had never experienced that before, but I felt like I did. I was talking to my friends about it like 2 weeks later, and it was like it had happened to me, So I don't know what that is, but I know that when I laid in that damn bed, my brain said, bro, we got more work to do.
I am so glad that all that came from you needing to poop and pee.
Well, that's not from the poop and the pee. That was from the hot part. No, that was the escape. I needed the poop and the pee. That was from the escape.
Sure.
The me doing the edible was just me escaping. And I don't even know why the fuck I did it, but I did it. And I still don't know where that poop or that pee went.
I do want to say this. I have to pee so bad.
Go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Don't do what I did and put it somewhere.
Say this.
There's a Schrodinger pee or poop in my house somewhere. It's in the box. The catches did.
I'm going to say this, though. We do appreciate Joe Barksdale calling in here.
That's so cool, right?
He helped me so much through last year when I was going through all my shit. So he's a great guy. We got to get him out to Austin at some point here soon.
Agreed.
But yeah, let's take a break and then we'll
be right back after these messages.
Yes, sir.
Help right now. This detector. This is a poop pee detector. Made by Spitsack Entertainment.
Do you need anything else?
Yeah, go for it.
This is great. This is a great episode. You sure you're good with everything?
Yeah, I'm just gonna get this water. Yeah, water's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is easy, man.
You got some real interesting shit to say. I mean, every time I talk to you, I'm like, God damn.
And it's funny for me is because I tell people I'm literally just talking about life. I'm not even. One, it's not attempts. I think when I was younger.
Do you have enough room? Do you want me to push
Boy,
this
this
back?
good.
You good?
Keep having this. The angles work. No, I would try to be interesting. Now I'm like, dude, just talk about what's going on, and people will let you know if this is interesting or not.
I do. Oh, I did want to offer marijuana. If you want.
I'm good.
Word.
I've taken a break from smoking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've taken a break from smoking because this would stand up and all of that.
Cool.
I always want to make sure I'm in charge of my brain.
Sure.
And I don't know. I just have so much I have so many things that I'll explain this on air.
Yeah. All right. Here we are. We're back. We are back. So you said that you took a break from weed after that long story of getting too high.
That one did. That one did spur a break. But honestly, what really spurred a break is the fact that I'm really learning that my voice is my instrument.
Mm-hmm.
My humor is my weapon or my superpower, but my voice is the instrument in which it comes through. And so because of that, okay, so Fridays I'm singing. Tuesdays I'm singing. So that means, and then Wednesdays I'm on the radio.
Yeah.
You hear my voice.
Yeah.
On Wednesdays. It needs to sound like me. Tuesdays, I want to be able to sing with Josh and Mars and you and Chin and Joey. I want to be able to sing with y'all on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Fridays, I absolutely want to be able to sing with y'all.
Yes.
If I was smoking the day before, my voice sounds like shit.
Really?
Yes, it's hard. It's hard for me. And so because I do a lot of high stuff and I have like a lot of inflections, I may be down here. I may be like, I want to have the ability to do all of that. And so what I've noticed is that when I am not smoking, I'm able to do all that stuff. And in addition to that, being inspired and being, I think the term for me is being present. When I'm high, I'm not present. Oftentimes I was smoking to try to run from stuff. Even at night when I did that edible, I was either feeling lonesome, under-accomplished, or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, that's why I said, let me get high, and there we go. But I know that there's so much going on for me in life that I don't need to miss these moments. That freaking show was a great example Saturday night of being present. If I'd have went and smoked, I may have left that show and been like, I'm not finna bomb 2 times.
Yeah.
I'm not fixing to deal with, especially in front of my people. That's the part that pissed me off more. It's like, I'm black and I'm bombing in front of my people. It's like, I'm not gonna do that. But me being sober, it said, dog, you've done this for over a decade. What material do you have?
Yeah.
What abilities do you have? It used to be abilities. Now it's just material. What material do you have? What jokes, what stories do you have that could apply to this, that you could do there? What are some things that have happened to you recently? What are some things you don't like? I remember I wrote down a whole list. I wrote down at least 6 things that I could talk about. And I was like, I'm going to talk about these things. And I don't go in there going, oh, it's going to be great. I was like, it may go great, it may not. It went great, but it was one of those things that because I do this, I trust myself enough to go, you can figure it out. When I was in the Dakotas last week. So this time last week, I was in Denver, Colorado, then from Denver to South Dakota, North Dakota, Wyoming, and then back. And so I'm performing a different part of the country. And I'm doing an hour. Each show is an hour. So I'm up on stage for an hour each night. I'm relying on myself. I'm not going up there going, well, I hope these people are in a good mood. Yeah. I hope they want to hear comedy. It's like, well, they came out. I'd imagine they freaking came out for some damn comedy. Yeah. Here you go. I'm going to give you just a little bit of what I had. I titled this Saturday Night's Thoughts, I guess. Because I was dealing with having bombed the night before. Sure. So I was like, well, dude, what are some thoughts and observations you have? Talking about the almost fight. I've had multiple almost fights that I think are stories that are funny. One was happening at a comedy show. That was a real thing. Then there's another one that happened at an open mic. That was a thing. Then the most recent, there was a basketball game where a guy was trying to fight me. And I remember at the very end, he yelled out, I knew he wasn't about nothing. Look at his hair. Look at his shoes. And so he made fun of my hair and my shoes, which I thought was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
Guess what? The audience agreed. You know, so that was there. I talk about protests and stuff like that, and how I remember back in 2020, people were protesting for us, and they were taking tear gas hits and all that stuff. And I was like, man, I love y'all so much for doing that, because I don't know if I could do that for y'all. Like, it's just being honest. Like, I'm really down with what y'all are going through, but I'm not finna go in the street with a skateboard and fight the cops, you know?
Yeah.
But I talked about that type of stuff, and High Me wouldn't have had the wherewithal to do that. High Me would have been up there being like, man, shoot, man, I don't even care. That's just me being goofy about what a high person is. But I know that for me, I have to care. I have to be available to be able to pivot. And when I'm high, I don't have the ability to pivot. When I'm high, I'm just like, this is what you got to get. You got to take me as I am. One of my powers, if we have sub powers, is the fact that I can pivot. Oh, damn, this ain't working. This ain't what y'all like. Okay, cool. Here's something else from me that I can bring up, you know? And when I have that ability, I'm functioning at 100%. But when I don't have that ability, now it's like, well, shit, this is all I got. I don't ever want to be at, no, this is all I got. I've done this too fucking long to ever be painted into a corner. Fuck no. It's 4 corners. You can't paint me into 4 corners. You can push me towards the direction of a corner, but I got this damn leg right here, this foot. I'm going to keep this motherfucker pointed at you. I'm going to fight my way from getting stuck in this corner. And comedy ain't a fight, but it can be at times. And for me, I have to have all of my wits. And so for me to be high when I'm doing this shit, knowing that at any moment, somebody could come with a fucking hit, and because I'm high, I don't see it, I get popped. Fuck no.
So you don't do any weed. You've never drank.
Never drank.
Cigarettes, tobacco.
If you talk about fucking around as a kid, like an idiot shit, like I was that kid, and I'm talking about 10 years old at that.
Yeah.
That if I saw a group of dudes like smoking, I'd get in a circle with them and smoke. But usually, luckily for me, it was Black and Wilds, Swisher Sweets. It wasn't no damn weed and all this other shit out here.
Right.
But that was me. I would do that just trying to fit in. But I was never a cigarette smoker. One time I've ever drank and been drunk, I was 18, and a friend of mine was pouring all the alcohol that he could find, and we just drunk it all on empty stomachs, gray, black, dark, browns, all of that shit just threw up everywhere. And I was like, oh, this is what happens.
Yeah.
I really don't like this.
Yeah.
If I thought I didn't like it, I hate it now. I vehemently hate this. And so I've never been a drinker. And so I don't have the stomach to this day to handle alcohol. And then there's certain things like weed. I don't like the way weed tastes.
Yeah.
I've never liked the way weed tastes.
Sure.
I don't like the way it's fucking gross. And I dated a girl that used to make edibles in our apartment, and I would have to leave while she was baking the stuff because the noxiousness of the smoke and the smell and the fumes would make me want to gag. You know?
Really?
Yep. And so weed now, if you give me an edible and it tastes anything like it, like I'm mentally like, I was describing it. I'm gonna have to drink this to not think about that taste. See, that's another thing, dog. Oh, fuck. I'm telling you, my brain, it changed though. That edible did change me. You can look at something and tell what it tastes like. Think about it for a second. Have you ever licked this monitor here?
No.
But I bet you could think of what it would taste like. I bet you could figure the texture, what it would feel like. You can look at it and do that.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? What is that? Is there a word for that? What sense is that?
I don't know.
You feel me though?
Yeah. Prediction, I guess, but it's a different. How can you predict a feeling or?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They go even deeper. What part of your body is doing that? Obviously, most people say their brain. Okay, what part of your brain is doing that? Because also, it's your tongue, or it's your nose, or is it your brain, or it's your eyes?
Yeah,
it's
they
your
say
bills.
people eat with their eyes before their mouth. Where that is an odd thing.
Because it gets to we see it first. So light gets to us first before the feeling and all that. Yeah, it's wild, bro. It's wild. That's what I'm saying. So when I for the record, I was already thinking along the lines of that type of stuff, anyways. But I hadn't made the turn to comedy with it, and so I was like, oh man, I can't be high doing this shit. Oh, because I said I can't be high on the radio.
Yeah.
Titan, my son damn near almost has a tournament every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to show up there high. So that cancels out. So Friday nights for me. Tuesday nights, that cancels out for me. Monday nights, that cancels out for me. Excuse me. Thursday nights, that cancels out for me. What day do I have left that I can freaking get high on?
Right.
Saturday night. What am I normally doing Saturday night? Performing.
Yeah.
Or at a tournament. So then I got Sunday. Sunday is the only day I can get high. And by that point, I'm just like,
what's the
next
point?
week. What's the point? Exactly. So my life necessitated me not getting high anymore. And I had to own up to it. And I said, dog,
Do you like it?
Do I like being high? Hell yeah.
No. Do you like...
not being high.
Do you like... Yeah.
Yes, because I'm so aware. I'm so painfully aware of my inadequacies that I have no choice but to deal with them. And there's a lot of things that I'm working on right now. And I've always had them. But I'm way more aware now than ever, having gotten older, hadn't lost a dad, hadn't just... My kids are older, and I think that because I'm around them more, I'm now more aware of the things that I need to fix and the things I need to work on and get control of. And even if I don't have full control of it, I think the fact that I'm aware of it is so much better. And not being high allows me to kind of touch. And I think the first thought is, okay, look at it. Okay, I looked at it. Okay, understand that it's there. Okay, I understand that it's there. What now? Let's just acknowledge that it's there. Okay, I acknowledge that it's there. All right. If we were going to fix this, I know you don't want to fix it, but if we're going to fix this, how would we go about it? Hypothetically, Courtney, how would we fix this? Oh, well, I'd probably do it like this. Okay, cool. This is my brain slowly convincing me to start working on that shit. All right, Courtney, so that one thing, you said it was like 50 things, right? Yeah, it's 50 things. Okay. If we just did one of those things, could we do it? Yeah, I'll do one thing. Okay, cool. Let's do one thing.
Yeah.
Hey, that was easy, right? Damn, that was easy. Okay, how many things are left? 49 now. Okay, what if we did another one next week? Okay, maybe we'll do it next week. How many things are left now? 48. Before you know it, I've hacked at it, and now it's 47, 46, 45, 24, 20, 19, 18, 2. You got 2 things to do, and this thing will be done. A year has passed, and I didn't even realize it. I did something that was terrifying me years ago. I was like, man, I don't want to touch that. I don't want to do that. Now here I am. I've done it, and I'm already on to the next thing, and I'm already depressed about something else not working.
Right.
Not realizing that I'm living out, fuck a childhood dream. I'm living out an adulthood dream of not being in bondage, not being chained to this problem.
Yeah.
So I think that for me, I have to be inspired, and I know that I'm my most inspired self when I'm aware. When I'm painfully aware, because if I'm high, I'm not aware. If I'm high, I'm able to mask and act like I don't see shit.
Yeah.
Even in my depression, when I'm sad, if I'm high, I can say, I don't care. And I can mean it. When I'm sober, when I say I don't care, I don't really mean it. I care. That's why I have to kind of take that off the stage, because I have to say, I don't care no more. And the first time you say it, it's cool, it's funny, we'll get into a joke. But then the second time you say it, now it's affirmation song. You're trying to prove to the audience that you don't care. Third time you say it, it sounds sad. I don't care. You ever heard a person say they don't care, but you can tell they care?
Yeah.
I don't care. I feel like anybody that verbalizes they don't care out loud is almost telling you, like, what they call it, opposite day.
Yeah.
Opposite day. Everything that's up is really down. Everything that's white is really brown. You know?
Yeah.
That's how I feel it is. Because I've had friends now that I've kind of understood that thing. That they'll yell, I don't care. Well, I don't give a shit. And I'm like, oh, he just showed me something he gave a shit about.
Yeah.
Okay. But me being mature enough is to not say it. Because if I say it, that'll make them run away. No, fuck you, man. But if I hear him say, I don't care, I'm like, oh. It's like that. Well, what's the worst thing that could happen? And when a person says what's the worst thing that could happen, they're going to let you know what they're scared of in that moment.
Yeah.
Well, the worst thing that could happen is our tire could explode and we could miss this show. Okay. We now know what their fear is.
Yeah.
We at least know one. We don't know all of them,
Yeah.
but we know at least one fear that they have right now in this present moment is the tire exploding and them missing the show. You know?
Yeah.
You listen to people. They say you listen to people, they'll tell you everything you need to know about them. And as a person that talks a lot, that's one thing that still hasn't changed. I listen way more and I observe way more, and listen more than when I talk. Like when I talk to people. What we're doing is talking. Like we're doing a podcast. This podcast is for us to fucking talk.
Well, I mean, almost everything you do in some way, shape, or form involves talking, and that's something that. It's a very unique thing. I think both of us sort of appreciate that words a lot more than the average human being. I guess my point sort of involves this question. Is your favorite genre of music hip hop or rap?
No.
No, that's not your favorite?
Not by a long shot. My favorite genre of music is my favorite genre of music is we're going to go with either alternative or R&B. I'm thinking
Really?
Okay, how about this? What the hell does The Weeknd do? What is that considered? Cuz it kind of is rap. It's like sing-songy, but if you listen to it, if you read it, it's rap, but it's not because he's singing.
Pop, hip-hop, R&B together.
So whatever that is, and it's not just The Weeknd, but there's a whole subgenre of people that they're singing, but they ain't up there. But they could. But they're also like, see, everything I'm doing right now is Weeknd.
Yeah.
Maybe it's The Weeknd.
Kid Cudi's a little
all
along
of that
those lines.
Kid Cudi, The
Tyler,
Weeknd.
the Creator, kind of hits on that lines a little bit.
Yep.
Kanye approaches those lines sometimes. He's a little bit more hip hop though. But even that, even with R&B, a lot of R&B is just like, and I don't want to upset any like hardcore fans of any genre, but I feel like R&B is kind of rap, but the flows are singing. Like
all of it is.
That's what it is.
All
like,
of it is though.
Yeah.
Listen to your favorite rock song.
Yeah.
Your favorite rock song, they rhyme.
Right.
They rhyme. They're country. They rhyme.
Mm-hmm.
All of the songs you're thinking of,
Mm-hmm.
if you really listen to the genres, they're rhyming. It could be a rap. Every song could be a fucking rap. Rock, rap, R&B, jazz, blues, gospel. All this shit is rhyming. They always follow the same scheme. They always find a word that's just easy, where you can remember it and repeat it over and repeat it over and over. The first time you hear it, you don't get it, but by the second or third time, you can repeat it too.
Sure.
It's all the same. It's all the same.
Yeah.
All of it. The only one that's different, I think, is thematic, and I'm calling it operatic. Opera is different, some of them, but there are some that also have hooks in them as well.
Sure.
But there's a lot of them that there are, I don't want to call it arias, but there are parts of like a play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have a musical, which is a play that has music, and you have operas, which are musical plays, or I guess stories that are being told through music. There you go. So I am really into, let's say R&B to make it easier for listeners. R&B is my favorite. Hip hop or rap would probably be my second.
Mm-hmm.
But you ready for this? Not the lyricism, but the beats themselves. And so I like instrumental. Yes, sir. I like instrumentals. I like music. I listen to hip hop from music first and feeling, and then lyrical content comes after all of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's odd. That's odd because the point that I was trying to make is a lot of comedians, and there are some comedians who rap and also do comedy, but a lot of comedians say hip-hop is their favorite genre of music because rappers, or a lot of them, share the appreciation of words.
Yeah.
And what the power of words can make somebody feel. And a lot of different types of artists share this appreciation, like podcasters, people who are on radio, which is similar. But then you have rappers, and then comedians, spoken word poetry, like all these different types of people. Authors, of course, they find that these sounds that we make with our mouths have a lot of deeper meaning. And when you put these sounds together, and then you, especially when we're talking about comedy, where it's like, okay, so this punchline didn't work. What if we do, the setup as the punchline, and then the punchline is the setup, and then all of a sudden it works, and you go, why did that work? I don't even know why it worked, but it seemed to resonate with people more. And so a lot of people like you and me share this appreciation with words. And so do you look, I mean, you kind of already answered the question I was leading up for, but you don't look for that in music, and that sounds or seems odd. I should say.
It's very odd.
So what is that to you? Why do you think
sounds.
You like sounds?
I like sounds. I know. It's that's a weird one, but it's the truth though. I have an affinity for sounds.
Okay.
So that's why I like music. I like instruments, despite not playing a formal instrument other than drums when I was in choir as a kid. Drums, beats, the spaces in between things, the way that we talk, the way that we hold our mouths, and the way that words go in and out. I have an affinity for the way things sound. That's why if you ever see me go like to a music store, I'm in heaven, because that's all the sounds can come out of there.
Right.
And I don't give a shit if it's too loud. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Now, of course, things can be too loud because I'm, a person. But I like sounds. And, oh, man, this is so weird to describe. But, okay, when I first hear an album or a song that I don't know, even if it's artists that I do know, for the first listen or the second listen, I can't hear the words. Like, I don't understand the words. Like, the words don't
I get that.
make sense to me. But I know if I like the song or not.
Yeah. Because
the melody, the way that they arrange their songs, the way that he's rapping, the way that she's singing, the different parts, the boom, 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 boom pace and all that, the way it, what we call transitions into the next song, where it's placed, the title of it, all those things are cool. But the words are like the last thing that makes sense to me. And so that's why I would never be like a musical critic that could like turn out reviews. I'd say it probably takes me a month to understand music. Now, if you just had an album of just like instrumentals and stuff, I could do that all day. I can tell you why I like it, what it makes me feel, what I see. But when people say stuff, I'm like, I don't know if you meant that way. My brain starts second guessing. But when it comes to sounds, I don't second guess. We're going to do this more often. I think we should do it probably at the beginning of the show, but I also don't want to hog the spotlight. Yeah. But there's a thing that myself and Chin will do, where Chin will start playing a song on the bass. And then I'll instantly start either singing, or I don't know what the word is, but maybe interpolating the song that they're playing. And that shows, like, that's the way my brain works. The way my brain works is I hear the sound first, I hear the words, and everything else like second and third. And so when I listen to music, I listen for the sound. I remember how a song makes me feel, what it reminds me of. Yeah, what it makes me feel and what it reminds me of before I remember the actual song. And I couldn't even tell you the title half the time. Like, what's that one song? I don't know that one song, but I'll go like that. And I'll say, and I've heard that song a million times. Yeah. But to me, when I'm doing that, I'm telling you the damn song. So the words matter, and I do appreciate words, but
how does that sorry to interrupt. How does that fit in for your comedy? Do you focus on words or maybe act outs you feel a little bit more than other comics
everything because I get complimented. I have the coolest compliments that I've gotten. I think I just got this on the road recently, is that when I'm doing my thing, there it is, I remember now. So it's two parts. I was doing a show across the street on Rainy Street. Are you familiar with Rainy Street? Yeah. So there was a comedy show outside. There was a guy playing music across the street, and not attached, not related at all. He's playing music over there. We're doing comedy over here, but it's a street, and you can hear his music while we're telling jokes. Somebody came up to me after my set. They said, "Dude, at some point, you like synced up to the damn guitarist across the street. Do you know that guy, or was that a part of the act?" Because the way I was delivering my lines was matching his tempo. And I said, no, that's just something that will happen to me, that if I perform long enough, if you listen to me long enough, it'll become rhythmic. And that's from years of being in church. That's also from years of just listening to music and composition. I'm not a formally trained musician, even though I did sing in choir, but I know that there's a internal time. I think the term is called a time signature
Yeah.
that I work off of.
Yep.
And so when I'm performing, it becomes rhythmic at some point. And so there's those times where my brain will just automatically sync up to the nearest music that's around. And I don't even do it on purpose. It just happens. The reason I brought it up is because then me and Joe, shout out to Joe Barnholt, who went on tour with me. Not Joe Barksdale, but Joe Barnholt. I know a lot of Joes now. Joe Barnholt out of Denver. He went on this tour with me last week. And he was playing his guitar. And at the end, I'd say, hey, man, come back up. I want you to play your guitar. And then we're just going to play with the audience. And so the first show, we did only 2 out of the 4 shows. The second show, the first show we did it. I'm trying to remember, how did it go? I don't remember exactly how we got into it, but I just kind of did a country western song. Because there was a country western concert happening across the street from us while we're performing. And that was fine. But the second one, we go up and he was like doing, I think he asked, he said, what style do y'all want us to do it in? They said blues. And so he just jumped in without a moment's thought and started doing a blues chord. And I said, my name is Courtney, but that ain't the only thing. I'm here and I'm hanging with you. I'm in South Dakota gonna sing, and now I'm here with you today, and I'm about to dance. So that part, what I just did, I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
But it's a very unique time signature. And Joe pointed out, because this girl recorded us, he was like, how did you know how to do that? He's like, I don't think he asked if I was trained, but he was like, how do you know how to do that? And I was like, I don't really know. And then I was telling him, I said, well, I think in church we sung songs like that in choir. And then not only did we didn't sing them, but our big choir sung that stuff. And so I grew up hearing that. Pastors, when they were really getting on a roll, they preached like that. And so for me, when I'm on stage, if you really watch me, I'd say after about 10 minutes, I develop a pattern. And I'll deliver almost all of my jokes in that section in that same pattern. And then I'll stop and I'll start, whatever. But then once I get riled up, it's almost like as if you could like see where my punchlines are about to come. Like you can go up, here it goes. It's going to be a punchline right there. So anyways, listen, I was mad for about 5 minutes because that's how long it took me to splash her. Yeah, man, you ain't gonna make me mad and talk about me in my car. And so each time it was there. And I never knew that was a thing I did until people called me on it. But I always tell people that music is really close to what I do. And that's why the music thing was always there. Even before Josh, even before Luke, because that was who originally did it with me. Luke came on Tuesdays because I had a keyboard. Luke Newman.
Yeah.
Shout out to Luke Newman. He was the first guy that played the piano for me. I would be hosting and I had my my looper.
Yeah.
And I would just try to make something out of that, which I still didn't know the tech and all of that, but I knew I wanted something. And I would rap. Sometimes I would just play an instrumental over the speaker and I'd rap over that, but I'd make it fun for the comics coming up. But that's who I am. Even when I'm performing, I don't even fucking need instruments. I'm just up there just making stuff on my own. Everybody, welcome to Time is Bar. We here today, gonna tell some jokes and get heckled by some buses and cars. We here and we hanging at this damn bar. If you're under 21, don't drink at the bar. That's me. Mm-hmm. That's who I am. And eventually it's gonna be funny there too. How I do all of that, I do not fucking know. But why I do it is that's how my brain is wired. It's to sound good. I always tell Josh, I want us to sound good, but I also want us to be funny saying something too.
Yeah.
Because that's the sauce right there. Sound good. Okay, cool. Now be funny. Ooh. Everybody can't do that. Everybody can't sound good. And that's why I think Bo Burnham is so good, because he can sound really good and he can still be funny at the same time.
Yeah.
But he has that third adage of where he can get emotionally charged as well. Yeah. That's the part that we haven't touched yet. Yeah. But that's the part that I'm headed in.
Yeah.
That's where I'm headed. Being able to be emotionally charged, not being a sad emo boy all the time, but at certain points,
sure,
being able to be up there and be vulnerable.
Do you know the song "Straight White Man" by Bo Burnham?
Love it.
The reason that song I think is so good is because it sounds like a real song
Mm-hmm.
on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like something somebody would listen to. If you go in that song and you replace it and you just keep the melodies, the notes, and the actual music
Right.
part of the song, it's like a pop song. Maybe Taylor Swift could sing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But you add that element of it's a ridiculous premise,
Mm-hmm.
and it becomes hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think that's sort of where
That's where we
with
live.
along for the vibes are going to get to, and
Yes.
that's when we're just going to start punching.
That was the
shit.
goal. You know what of Bo Burnham inspired damn near all of this? Somewhere between Inside, the whole album / thing, and that damn Kanye West rap. Rant.
Yes.
Kanye West rant.
Yes.
I'm talking about the lights. I'm talking about the wind. I'm talking about the fact that he had the voice modulators
Yeah.
and stuff going on. I'm talking about the fact that there was beats going.
Yep.
The fact that you had the piano that sounded like fucking ding, ding. It sounds like the beginning of
Runaway.
Thank you. See, I'm telling you, I can tell you the sounds. I can do the sounds before I tell you the title any
Yeah.
day. But you had all of that going on. I
Yeah.
was like, this is a comedian doing this. And some people be like, this ain't comedy. And I was like, no. This is comedy, but it's so much more.
Yeah.
And I love also one of my favorite ones of his is You're Still Happy. I think it's the Happy song, where at the end he walks out of the door.
Oh, that one.
And he
Are
goes
you
to
happy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of those things are who I am. Those I found Bo Burnham. Somebody showed me Bo Burnham. One of my employees showed me Bo Burnham way, way back in the gap. I always get this weird preview of people show me things that I'm gonna like later on in life, but the person they're showing them to at the time doesn't appreciate him. But he's respectful, he's polite, and he still listens. But he's like, okay, how was that? And he goes on about his life. But then the guy that I become later on in life sees that and remembers and goes, oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I'm ready to accept that now.
Yeah.
So much in music, and it happens like that for me.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, Courtney, you would like this. You'd like this. Which I think people saw that stuff in me and my humor way before I did. They're like, yo, there's a guy that does comedy and music. He's kind of kooky like you. You'd like him. I think
Yeah.
your humor would be perfect for him. And I'm like, bitch, don't tell jokes like this. Then here I am years later. And that's exactly where I'm at.
Yeah.
The country western song, the repeat stuff. Good old
Yeah.
pandering. This is
Yeah.
a mandolin.
Yeah.
You some bitches want to keychains. There's no pandering. There's just no pandering. No you know, like.
Yeah, and the thing is with Bo Burnham too,
Mm-hmm.
is he will have lines
Yeah.
like stand-up that stick with you.
Right.
And that's sort of the hard thing I think with it combining with music is still having lyric like
Yeah.
there aren't when you go see a comedy show,
Yeah.
it's not like you go see a movie.
Right.
And then you go, well, what happened in the movie? And you go, well, there were these two guys, and then they had to go do this thing, and then a stripper came in, and blah, 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 whatever. With comedy, it's like you remember two punchlines, and you remember like a couple premises. And you go, well, he talked about Elon Musk, and that was funny. He was like, what did you say about Elon Musk? And you go, I don't remember that. But the thing is with like Bo Burnham is you still get those like punchlines. Like even with that joke, I will always remember. I sing about driving tractors in the comfort of a private jet.
Right.
That's like that sums up the whole song
Right.
and a hilarious punchline. And it's right before the chorus starts.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Um.
It makes us way more memorable. And it's almost like we're short-circuiting the rememberability
Yeah.
because we're putting music in it. And it's
Yes.
easy for us to remember stuff. As kids, we sing stuff. Oftentimes, that's why the alphabet says A, B, C. It's easier for us to
Right.
remember. It's always in sixes.
Right.
When you make it into the song, it doubles the amount of time. Or it shortens. It shortens the amount of time it takes for you to remember it.
Yeah.
And so with us being able to be funny and be musically good as well, it's going to allow people to appreciate the things that we create a lot more, a lot quicker.
Yeah.
A lot quicker, because their senses are being catered to. And now they're getting it from multiple directions. Oh shit, this sounds good, but this is funny as well. What did you like about it? It was a show. And that's why I want people to come away going, it was a show. I don't want them to come away and go, oh, it was okay. I want them to go, that was a show. And I remember the first time I took my 505 on the road, didn't know what I was really doing, but I said, I'm going to get out here and do it. I have to. I do my stand-up, and then I would end with the 505. I did one musical comedy festival that was just the 505.
Sure.
But I remember I did a show in Laredo, and I ended with the 505. And it took so long to set up, and I even had an online show before that. So I went through hell to do that show. But I said, Courtney, if you're going to grow at this, you have to take this in front of paying audiences, and you have to take this in front of people that, you know, probably wouldn't expect it, that may potentially not like it. And so I took it there, and I'll never forget afterwards. And I had fun. I don't know if I sounded good or not, because I didn't really sound the check, because I had a fucking online show before.
Yeah.
But I just know that people had a good time from what I surmised. And I remember some of the comments were, it wasn't stand-up comedy, it was an experience. And I remember I was like, you know, my cynical brain is like, well, that was negative. And I was like, no. If it would have been negative, they would have said negative.
Right.
They'd have said it sucked. That was weird. That was wacky. We didn't like it. What they said, it was an experience. Did you want to give them an experience? Well, yeah. Well, then, nigga, you succeeded.
Yeah.
What are you mad about? Did you want them to go? It was the greatest? Well, yeah. Well, it wasn't the greatest. But it was an experience. It was an experience.
Yeah.
So today was an experience.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow will still be an experience, but at some point it will be the greatest thing that they've seen. But you have to give it time. You have to learn at it, and it's not going to be overnight. It's not going to be something that is going to be linear. There's going to be days where it's peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
Some days it's peaks, man. Some days you're up there, lady, I'm talking, and a man throws me a freaking a French fry, and I catch it on beat, and I eat it, and the crowd goes wild, and I'm able to beatbox and also loop and make some music, and the crowd's laughing, and I record it as well, and it looks good. It does well online. But then there's going to be other days where I don't know what the fuck I just did.
Yeah.
I don't know if they like me.
Right.
I might not get invited back after this one. Damn, I probably should have finished 5 minutes earlier before I did.
Yeah.
But the joy is, the less I care, the better it gets. And you look at somebody like Bo Burnham, maybe they do care. I know he has a song where he talks about the anxiety of performing and then finally getting over it, and the damn pandemic happens when he wants to do shows. But there's something that's going on for them when they're performing, whether it's on YouTube videos like they started off, or it's on stage and, you know, not Madison Square Garden. I'm trying to think of where it was, the New York, wherever he was in New York. I know that there's something that's magical going on, and I know that we're tapping into that.
Yeah,
we're
I agree.
It's a multitude of us that
Yeah.
are tapping into it, and I'm as much a part of this band and this experience as everybody else is, just as you are, just as Mars is, just as Josh is, just as Joey is, just as Chen is, just as the next people that are going to be with us are. And I'm here for it because I love the fact that I'm not the only person.
Yeah.
If it was just me, maybe the lyrics would never come. Or maybe the lyrics, we wouldn't put that much thought into them, since I don't value them nearly as much. If it was just Josh, maybe it would only be music, but it wouldn't be funny.
Sure.
If it was just you, maybe we would have a good video, or a live performance might not be that. If it wasn't Chen, if it was just Chen, maybe we would just only have sound effects and a bass.
Yeah.
If it was just Mars, maybe it would just be a tambourine and crafts or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's all of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's crafts, it's a bass, it's a tambourine. It's a guy that can literally hear half a bar and either figure out the song that it's coming from, or he can make a song right there on the spot in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Or it's a guy that can play damn near any song from memory on a keyboard and sing. Or it's a guy that knows the fucking technology like the back of his hand. If he doesn't, he goes outside and grabs a YouTube video real quick and is able to kind of go, okay, and then go back in and execute.
Yeah.
All of us need each other for this.
No, absolutely.
And I love that the first word in our show is what? What is it? It's alone, right?
Oh, I thought you were.
What? Oh, what?
I thought you were asking me the first word spoken in our show,
shit.
which is
God.
the N-word.
Jesus Christ, Chris. Oh my God. I'm 50-50 low. I'm 50-50 okay and not okay with that. Ah, God. I want to share it so many times, but I'm like, dude, if I do this, first of all, Josh is a teacher. Fuck. I know. Fucking hilarious.
It's okay. Here's the thing. Nobody's going to go back to our first
They will.
show and watch it unless they're a fan of our shit.
And that'll be fine.
And by the time people start going back and trying to get us on stuff, we're probably going to be making money by that point.
And we won't even care. So let me finish my damn thought. You're right though. It wasn't niggas, plural. No. So the first word, believe it or not, people, and this could be whatever. Fuck it. It's alone, right? Mm-hmm. But remember, I was talking about reducing fractions. Mm-hmm. So if the first word is alone, what's the first two letters of our show?
Along.
The first two letters though.
O-A-L.
Which is damn near all.
Yeah.
Our show works because all of us buy into it. Us, the performers, the comics, the theater, the audience that's in person and online. All of us. The way that we do this thing, it's not one person being great. It's all of us being great together.
When I asked you, what do you think is going to blow you up?
Yeah.
I got to say, man, from me, from the outside perspective, just some of the stuff you've shared with me about your past, which probably there's a lot more to get into.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, this feels like this might be the thing.
I hope so. But, man, only time will tell. And my favorite part is, bro, that was 2 years ago. This didn't exist 2 years ago.
I know.
The seeds were there, though.
Right.
There were seeds there. There were things there. The equipment was there. I knew Josh somewhat. Josh hadn't moved here yet. I knew you, but we hadn't connected with all this stuff yet. So if this is it, I would fucking love it. I'm not going to say no because I would take it.
This has to be it. This is going to be, and it's weird at the age of 21 to be like, I found something where I think I'm going to be like successful. I think like
I love that.
There's so much, and there's so many comics who are older than me who go, I have no idea what's going to happen, what's going to blow up.
Yeah.
I think one of us doing a little bit of viralness, just one of us, any one of us, me, you, Joey Cash, Chen, Josh, whoever, doesn't matter. It will be a gradual waterfall of success.
Yes.
Of that person will blow up. Along for the Vibes will blow up.
Absolutely.
This podcast will blow up.
Yep.
And Mars's, crafts will start selling.
Yep.
I mean, Joey will probably start getting booked as a guitarist.
Yep.
Chen will, I don't know what the
Everything.
fuck she'll do.
Every
Yeah, the
thing.
soundboard, the sound shit. She's good with bass guitar. She plays the
AI,
piano.
all that shit.
Whatever. Like, she's a genius. So all that, I think, will come from Along for the Vibes. And if it doesn't, if this project doesn't last with Along for the Vibes, something will come in right afterwards.
That's the best part, and that's who I am now.
Because the shit that we're learning at Along for the Vibes cannot be unuseful.
You learning.
It can't be.
You got it. You can't unlearn the shit.
And so I think that this is it. And with these free pizza nights that we're doing, this next one's going to be... And by the way, I'm kind of done with the interview. We'll just talk about Along for the Vibes.
Well, they need to hear about it. So, I mean... when you believe in something, I think everybody can hear it.
Yeah.
They can hear it in your voice.
But I think these free pizza nights, you give us 24. That's it. Once a month shows, that's 2 years. That's all. So we did one. One's upcoming.
Yep.
We got 23 left.
Yep.
I'm guessing by the 24th one, it'll be big.
I like it.
I'm not talking like, oh yeah, no. We'll show up to open mics and somebody will come up to you and go, dude, crazy night Friday, huh? Like that will fucking happen.
I want that.
I guarantee you by the 24th show, I'm not putting any money into it. I bet you're not putting any money into it. I think we're taking money out of the show, putting it back into the show.
Yeah.
I think that's what we'll be doing.
Yeah.
And I've never... And there are moments where I go, you know, with the podcast or with the open mics or even when I try to pick up the piano, it's like, no, you should keep coming back. But none of it feels like I'm going to blow up from it. This is the first thing I've felt where I think it's going to blow up and I should keep showing up.
Yay.
And so, I thank you. By the way, did you see the latest show?
No, I haven't looked at anything, man.
Here.
That's one thing you'll learn about me soon. If you haven't, I don't watch nothing I do.
That's good. That's
I
all right.
need to, but I don't. I live it, and I need to get better at watching stuff because obviously now I learn how to market stuff.
Sure.
Let me move his knees.
Let me pull this up for the viewers at home so they can watch it. So we had a slight issue on Friday. Mm-hmm. I forgot my amps. I didn't forget about the subwoofers for the amps, but the problem was I didn't know you needed them. Like they were absolutely necessity for the amp to perform to its best degree. I also don't have the mic stands here. They're probably back up in Massachusetts, which I'm going fucking 6 days from now. Jesus. Yeah. And the thing is I think that this will very much improve our audio quality. I also think that if we can put an amp outside, that will be huge for bringing people in. But anyway, number one, check out how it looks, buddy.
Yeah,
we did the lights.
The lighting looked good. I remember I saw some pictures.
We did the lights, and the lights look phenomenal. I mean, just absolutely.
I love that space.
Oh, dude. This is a great room to work in. Mm-hmm. It's a great way for like us, like, because, you know, we're not the smallest thing ever, but right now we're not going to be at the level that we are going to be in the future.
Right.
But the thing that was funny is that like right now, everything sounds perfect. Like the audio itself sounds so good.
I already know what state Josh is in because he doesn't have his glasses on. I can tell you where Josh is, like how he's doing.
He looks great. Dude, he did an amazing job though. He carried the show.
That's what I heard.
Mars was a little stoned to talk, but he had Joey Cash with his gallon water there. But like, dude, look at how good this shit is. With the lighting and stuff. I mean, this shit was amazing. And I don't even think, because I was Googling the whole time, I didn't even, literally, I'm off the fucking screen trying to figure out, that's me in the corner trying to figure out the amp. But we didn't do much of the, here, that's the other, we did 3 camera angles. That was the other one. All of them look pretty good. But either way, I thought it was it looks excellent. We had a lot of problems with the audio in person, but online
sounded good.
Sounds good. I think it's a very enticing show. Like it's something hard to look away from.
Yes.
And you know what, man? I just think that this is going to be a really hard thing to fail.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, so many people that are putting their things into it, and nobody's having, in my opinion anyways, nobody's having to do stuff that is like foreign to them.
No.
Like, that's why I talked about the way that I interpret music is the way that I interpret music, but nobody's telling me, Courtney, you got to do it this way. It's like, no, y'all are allowing me to interpret music the way I interpret it. And y'all are allowing me, like I have space to where if I want to create a goofy ass song, I have at least 2 people, if not 3, that can damn near make the music for me. So then I can provide the lyrics or the dance or the goofy face or the sound effects or the scenario for it. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
There are whole studios dedicated to that stuff, and we do a studio's worth of work in a matter of 15 to 20 seconds for every comic.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely.
That's magical. That's beautiful. And that's something that I just want to keep on tweaking until before you know it, we get put on a comedy festival. And not only are we being put on a comedy festival, we're making something great for ourselves.
Yeah.
But then we're able to bless others as well. And not only are we blessing others, we're doing something that I think as a whole is good for comedy.
Yes.
That it doesn't
I
have
agree.
to be the ugly
100.
stuff. It doesn't have to be the cynical stuff.
No.
It can be something that's just fucking fun.
Yeah.
And I want us to be fun. I love the ideas that we have because there are ideas aplenty. But at the end of the day, I want us to remember that this motherfucker, the goal is for it to be fun.
Yeah.
I want the comics to have fun. I want us to have fun. And if I'm performing on stage and you see me laughing, 10 times out of 10, if you see me laugh on stage, because the one thing I'm still self-conscious about is my teeth. If you see me laugh on stage, it's because I don't fucking care. I'm not saying I don't care because I don't care. I'm saying I don't care because now I'm free, because I do care. And when you see me laugh, you get to see me not care on stage because I'm so in the moment that I'm not thinking about what's going on. I'm not thinking about what I look like. I'm not thinking about how I appear, how I sound. I'm just laughing. Damn, Dad, why you laughing so loud? My son get mad at me. Because I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I laugh because I'm happy. Yeah. I'm not laughing for anybody else's entertainment and enjoyment. If somebody gets enjoyment or entertainment out of me laughing, so be it. Bonus. But that's me enjoying myself. If I don't have nothing else, which I got a multitude of things to enjoy, but if I don't have nothing else to do, I'm a fucking laugh. Yeah. And if you see me laugh, I'm having a good time.
And hopefully, I know you said you have 2 people to help craft a song. I do want to get into the piano.
Do it.
I've been saying it for a long time. I finally figured out the sound stuff. Mm-hmm. Josh is out of work now.
Right.
I'm gonna take piano lessons from Josh.
Do it. I don't see. Boy, go. We may have 3 at this point. I know Joey. He was messaging. He found one. We might have at this point. We might have 3 different damn keyboards. I gave Simone the other one, but Josh don't have a keyboard. I have a keyboard. Shit, you got a keyboard right there.
I got a keyboard right there.
I got a MIDI, fucking little mini MIDI, at the house. We have equipment aplenty, and I think it's the ideas are limiting factors right now. It's whatever our imagination.
Agreed.
Because we have the space. That's tabula rasa right there. That whole salon situation, man.
We got this.
Whatever we want to do, we could do. If we wanted to walk in that thing and within reason paint the place red, as long as we got enough white paint to paint the shit back, we good.
Yeah. And for an announcement, we'll wrap this up, but just as an announcement, July 25th. It's going to be our next big free pizza night. It's going to be a bringer show. We're expecting a huge turnout for in-person and on the live stream. Yep. I want to try out like a Cat Williams set with the
do it.
The band. I think that would be really fun. Hopefully I get a couple more pops.
Yeah, you will.
And I'll just need to talk to you about what you think I should do for my set, because at this point you've seen me do stand-up so many times. Mm-hmm. You know a bunch of my jokes.
I think no matter what you do, you can't fail. And a lot of people tell us this on Tuesdays. You have such like when you're performing with the band behind you on Tuesdays, there's so much support going on behind you that my goofy ass is laughing if you say something funny or say something crazy. You got Josh Mars as well. You have Chin with the soundboard. You have Joey that's probably going to laugh as well. Yep. But we're going to hype you up to where you damn near are going to just explode if you don't let it out. Yeah. And so it's just going to be a thing that, figure out whatever it is. The first thing I talked about, the reaction. Somebody swings at you. Yeah. The first thing you do, that's your reaction. Yeah. With comedy, it's your reaction. When you get up there and you're like, yo, man, the first thing that comes to your mind is your reaction. That's your instinct, and that's going to be funny. That's why I tell a lot of people, sometimes you need to take that set. If you have a set that is normally, 50 fucking minutes, take that set and try to do it in 20. If you have a set that's normally 20 minutes, take that set and try to do it in 10. You have a set that, is 10 minutes, Figure out some of that stuff that you can do in 5 minutes. And all you're doing is taking a concentrate. You're taking exactly what you know works and is funny, and you're smashing it. I have bits that sometimes I'm like, yo, all right, in my last minute, I'm going to try to do this bit. And I'm going to find where the funny is the quickest. So now when I'm telling that joke, if I ever get to the point where I'm just not fucking feeling it, but I still want to get the joke done, I can get straight to the funny stuff. My soul feels better because I did the joke in its completion or its entirety. Now I can move on to the next thing instead of going up there going, yeah, guys, so anyways, and then all of a sudden something happens and I'm just like, never mind. Even though I do sometimes do that too. I'm still figuring it out, Chris. Don't give me no, because I have a fuck it moment, and I was just explaining to Joe. I have a fuck it moment every now and then. Haven't had it recently, where I'll start to tell a bit and then it's not hidden. So I'll just say fuck it and jump into another bit, or I'll just talk to the crowd. I don't say it verbally out or vocally out as much as I used to, but it still happens every now and then where I'm just like, man, fuck this. Let me talk to y'all real quick, you know?
Yeah.
Y'all need to hear me.
Well, Courtney,
it's a pleasure,
you so
man.
much for coming on here, dude. It's always a blessing to talk to you on or off the podcast. I hope you're willing to come back, you know, hopefully in a couple months. If not, whatever.
I want to come back in 2 years. The way this is going, I think future me needs to live and then enjoy life, but then they need to have something to say to the guy that's talking to you right now. Yeah. But also have something to say to the guy that they're going to become 4 years from now.
Yeah.
Because there's a guy 4 years from now that is hopefully looking back on this stuff and smiling, going, damn, you remember when Along for the Vibes being successful it was called Along for the Vibes. It wasn't called fill in the blank, whatever thing it becomes.
Yeah.
Remember when it was just, when we only had, you remember when it was just Chin, Chris, Josh, Mars and Josh, Mars, Joey. I keep throwing Joey out. Joey Cass, y'all. Joey, Chris, Courtney, Mars, Josh, Chris, Sherry, Tyler. What? We didn't have 15 people? Yeah. No, we only had like 6 or 7. Damn. Yeah, we only streamed one time. We only performed once a week. Y'all used to do us only once a week? We used to do once a week, and it only be like a handful of people in the room.
Yeah.
Wait, so y'all hadn't bought a theater yet? We hadn't bought a theater yet. Y'all hadn't gotten passports and done this shit all over the country, all over the world? We hadn't done it all over the world yet. We hadn't even left Austin yet. We left Austin briefly to go to San Antonio. Damn, dude, y'all hadn't won a Grammy yet? Y'all hadn't, fill in the blank of the crazy shit. Whatever it is, that guy 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, 10 years from now is looking back going, man, I remember we were talking in your apartment. You remember you used to have an apartment? Before you had kids. You remember when you remember when you met my daughter when she was like fucking 16 years old?
Yeah.
Or she was 14 years old? That type of shit, And so I look at that and I hope to get to that moment where I get to look back on these moments and smile. And I know that if I really think about what I did 2 years ago, I'm impressed by what I did 2 years ago, but I'm even more impressed by what I'm doing now compared to what I did 2 years ago. Let me make that make sense. 2 years ago, I'd already done some cool shit. I'd already been doing 9 shows a month?
Yeah.
I had 9 different shows that I produced a month. That's a lot. Now, I don't produce 9 shows a month, but I have a team of people that can produce every one of these damn shows without me there, soundly. Those 9 shows weren't soundly happening. That's why I had to get rid of them. They weren't soundly happening with me. Even when I was there, they weren't that good.
Yeah.
Now, I can be there or not be there and not even worry about it. The Comedy Showcase at Tiny's Bar in Texas, bro, I've been to one show. And we've damn near done that for almost, I think, might be close to 6 months. Weekly. Every Saturday. Rain, sleet, or snow. If it's canceled and I'm not there, if I'm there and it happens, whatever, it's still going to happen. So 2 years from now, when I look back, maybe there's going to be some shows that ain't happening. But I have a sneaking suspicion I'm going to look back and you'll look back and we'll be like, damn, that was before we even knew because with the Pebbles, man. And I think Tanya's Bar is the real catalyst for all of this. It's where I've worked with all of y'all. Joe, Joss, Mars, Chin, Joey, you, Dizzy, Tiffany, Grace, who am I missing? Hunter Parker, Sari Vasagi, Tyler Nass. Trying to go back to my old people at this point now. I'll leave it at that. It's where I've worked with everybody. And oh, fuck, I just realized that. There are more people coming.
Yeah.
There are more people coming. Not just opportunities, but people. More doers. Which I look forward to do what we're doing and what we've done 2 years from now.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a great way to close out the podcast. This has been episode 180. Thank you so much, Courtney, for coming on,
It's
my
a pleasure, my man.
Absolutely. And have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.
It's the new crap. It's the new crazy people. They're gonna be doing 48 hours of improv.
Oh my god.
That's this year's group.
That is crazy.
I'll see them at 9 a.m.
That's like
Saturday.
nuts.
Yeah, I'm gonna see them at 9 a.m. Saturday.
You're doing it again?
Well, so I'm only doing one show.
Okay.
No.
That makes sense.
You know what's crazy? I will though. I will do it again soon. Probably not in the next 3 years. But
Yeah.
I will absolutely do it again.
Wow.
It's weird because once you've done it, you're like, oh, I can do this.
Sure. Yeah. You want to keep doing it over and over.
Well, now that I know it's done too.
Yeah.
It's like bench pressing 225 or running a mile. Like actually running a mile. Once you've done it, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
First time I did it, oh my God. All right, so what's the schedule like, man? I love that you enjoy everything at the same time.
We did that. I did that purposely.
Yeah, and I don't have to mentally figure out who's coming back when.
So, here, hold on. Let me
Go ahead.
real quick.
Do your thing.
Because
No worries.
Mm-hmm. We're ready to go.
Right.
We've already talked about it. Like, we're going back. He's going to Jersey. I'm going to Max. We're going to be surrounded by family. And there's going to be, like, this chill element to it. But we've already been talking about, like, we're going to be writing. We're going to be thinking of things for the show. We're going to be thinking of new bits.
That's what they say, keep Summer safe. Rick and Morty, when the damn car had to do everything, and then all of a sudden, Summer says, well, please don't kill nobody. So the car has to figure out a way to keep Summer safe. So, okay, I'm going to paralyze this person. You don't do that either. Okay, fine. I'm going to broker peace between the telepathic spiders and humans. You feel me?
Yeah.
You might not like it, but I'm going to get it done with the parameters they give me. And so for me in this case, you know, pee now. I'm going to get there and be doing the squiggle leg walk. I'm going to, get the car. Hurry up, pee. There's a little stairs. There's a little 3 flights of stairs. I have to pee up every one of them. I can drive at a regular speed. All right. Those goals are all attainable, my friend.
All right. Sounds good, brother.
Are those the guys you're bringing? Or are you talking about something else?
What?
These speakers up there.
Oh, these are the subwoofers.
Got you. Because all I want to know is how to put that shit all together.
I'm gonna get it all set up, and then once I figure it out, I'm gonna teach you. And then I can, if I'm ever out of town, I can give you one of my apartment keys, and you can just come in. Yeah.